and welcome to the Sidebar Cantina, the podcast where we talk about Star Wars, pop culture, workplace buffoonery, or whatever the fuck we feel like talking about. I'm Mr. Jason Roscom. With me here each and every single week, the Darth Vader to my Palpatine, Dave Martin. Hello, David.
Hello, Jason.
How are you?
I am swell.
Let me reiterate, we were just talking about workplace buffoonery. So,
Do you know what today is, Jason?
according to my calendar, it's February 26th.
It is my mother's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom.
Ah, yes.
And it is also the anniversary, the 6-year anniversary of the first day of my retirement.
Oh shit! Today, huh?
Today.
I'll be damned.
Yeah. So you know what I should have been doing today?
Celebrating?
Not working.
Yeah, that'd have been nice.
You know what? I'm gonna say it now. That from this point forward, while I'm working, while I still have a job, I'm going to put in for PTO on this date.
Like every year?
Every year.
On your anniversary?
That way I am not suffering like I suffered today on the anniversary of the first day of my retirement.
Yeah, the day that was supposed to be a great day, a joyous day, retirement. Right. Hey, life's going to get easier.
Yeah, no. I mean, let's face it. Like, retirement, military retirement, you're unless you're a fucking general, or an 06, you're not going to live off of it. But it's still great. I can't. I'm not gonna say it's anything bad about it, but you definitely have to work another job if you want to enjoy stuff.
Yes.
Like could I survive? Yes, I could absolutely survive. Would I have things that I like to play with?
Right.
No. So
yes,
I need
the Sacred Black Series is a great example, and the Pops.
And the Pops
and the Legos.
And Legos. Yes. These are all things and let us not forget
lightsabers.
Yes. So yes. So 6 years ago.
Yeah, you're blowing Bronco Fett's mind because he was, listening back when we were talking about that during the early days of the show.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Oh, this is episode 325.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because we're coming up on 7 years now, right? Yeah, because we started in 2017.
Yep. So May the 4th, it'll be 7 years.
I'll be damned. Wow.
Have we stuck to anything besides our military careers? Have we stuck to anything this long? In our lives?
No, definitely not. Nothing with this consistency.
Right? It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Some of our listeners may question our consistency, but,
Hey. Don't you dare.
My penis so smooth.
I don't know what that had to do with it.
And RJ94 is still with us here in the studio. I think he's going to be a mainstay, I think.
I think he should be.
Yeah, I like him right there. All right. So anyway, we're getting way sidetracked immediately. What the fuck are we talking about today, Dave?
Oh, well, Star Wars shit.
Yeah.
And the Bad Batch.
That's right.
Because we had a Bad Batch. Did they release all 3 episodes the same day?
Yeah, all 3 came out at once.
Okay, yeah, because I didn't actually get to watch them until yesterday.
Yeah.
So we're watching the first 3 episodes of season 3 of the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
Or we watched them. Now we're going to talk about them.
Also, yes.
Which would make sense. Although I'd enjoy sitting here watching them because that's 90 minutes. And we probably could, in the space of how we do the show, actually sit here and watch them. But then there'd be copyright issues and shit like that.
And I think they might get a little bored just watching us watch that.
I mean, there's plenty of shit to make fun of in the meantime. I mean, we'd fill the dead air. I mean, look, we've both seen Mystery Science 3000. We know we can do this.
Well, hey, that's insinuating that this is bad.
No.
Or that there are things to pick apart.
I'm saying that we can insert things in the dead air.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with anything being bad. Mm-hmm. I could find something to fucking
I know you could.
insert joke here.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, especially on second viewing.
Yeah. So, yes, that's what we're talking about today. But, of course, as always, we have a ton of business to get to.
We do.
Should we talk about Patreon first?
I think you and RJ should talk about Patreon.
All right. Yeah, he doesn't like that idea, so I'll just do it. If you're enjoying the Sidebar Cantina's content, consider becoming one of our Patreon supporters.
Easy for you to say.
For as little as $1 a month, you can support this podcast and make it possible for us to continue to bring you quality content week after week. We'd like to give a huge shout out to all of our current patrons. Kristen. My wonderful mother-in-law, Patricia Goodstein. She mixed up the names again.
Ha
Don Solsky, The Orange and Fett Show, Dragon Buddy, Sterling Azier, Helen Martin, Chantal from Pop My Culture, Janine Vickers, Ivo G, Scott and Kim from Used and Abused, Catherine Rennick, Tina Land, Frederick Martin, Wally Frogmore, Lord Helmet Fire, Carly Vickers, David Schmuck, Frank Kalevich, Nick from Sweet Studios, Kristen Roscom, and Shotgun Mark. If you'd like to consider becoming a supporter, you can find us at patreon.com/the Sidebar Cantina. One of our Patreon benefits is a monthly giveaway. On March 11th, the Sidebar Cantina will be discussing the Star Wars novel Master and Apprentice by Claudia Gray. And next week, we want to give away one lucky winner a copy of the book to prepare for the show.
Ooh.
One of our Patreon subscribers will be able to choose an ebook, audiobook, or printed book to be sent to them immediately following the drawing next week. So if you're not a Patreon subscriber, you have 1 week to join to be eligible for the giveaway. For our current Patreon subscribers, may the force be with you.
Awesome. I love that idea. That's a great idea.
That's all, Kristen. She
Yeah. Good job, Kristen.
Which, by the way, she's already listened to the entire Master and Apprentice audiobook. Like, she started it like 3 days ago, and she's done.
Nice.
Yeah.
Have you started it yet?
No, of course not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And then we'd like to give a huge shout out to... Oh, wait, no. Thank you again to all of our listeners and supporters. We appreciate each and every one of you.
My penis so smooth.
are the reason... Oh, come on. You had to do me dirty like that? I'm a mess today. All right, but back to you, Dave.
Finkel and iron, Finkel, iron, Finkel.
I don't think the people saw my shirt. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it into frame here.
Finkel is Einhorn.
And if you can't tell, it's in the Miami Dolphins colors.
Einhorn is a man.
So anyway.
Your gun is digging into my hip. God, fucking, what a great movie.
I took a girl on a first date to see that movie.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I had no idea what to expect. Like, I mean, I loved Jim Carrey from In Living Color.
Uh-huh.
And then, he came out with Ace Ventura. I thought it looked kind of silly, but, he's so damn funny.
Right.
And, we had to go somewhere.
And it was definitely silly.
Yeah.
But it was fucking great.
Yeah. I don't know if it was the best place to take a date, when I was 16, 17 years old or whatever, but... it is what it
Did
is.
you do the dick in a popcorn thing?
No,
penis so smooth.
no, but it didn't really last. So maybe I should have. Maybe that would have gotten me farther
Maybe.
in that relationship. But what are you gonna do?
Or just greasy.
Yeah,
It doesn't seem like a good idea, to be honest.
make it easier to rub one out later.
Yes. So there is such a thing as too much viscosity.
So anyway,
Uh,
I know Lunar Girl is still dealing with all of her family stuff.
yes.
So did she?
So there's no update to the notes. So I will give shout outs at the end for everybody. So yes, thank you. Godspeed, Lunar Girl, and recovery for the fam. I know DB is in the chat doing some work, so thank you for listening.
if you consider Call of Duty work,
But
but
he said work and Call of Duty, so there's, obviously he must be in between. I don't know. Leave the guy alone. So yeah, that's it with that.
All right.
Hey, before we get too far, dude, we landed on the fucking moon a few days ago.
by we, you mean?
Well, I mean, me personally, the Embry Riddle landed on the moon. So my alma mater had a science package that was on that lander that landed on the moon.
Yeah.
So, and those of you who've been following it, and you're all a bunch of nerds like us, and you've probably been following it, landed on the moon. They made it, right? And look,
They being an unmanned craft.
yes, regardless, we haven't done shit for shit in 50 fucking years.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a big deal to fucking finally, we sent Artemis around the fucking moon, and now we're at a point where it's like, okay, use this commercial payload. It's okay. We sent this, like, it was all commercial package. Embry-Riddle sent the first like student built fucking what you call it? No, so what Embry-Riddle built was the camera package that was supposed to, if it had landed normally, it would have basically ejected this camera out, and it had a Wi-Fi connection to the lander itself, right? So it would have hit about 30 seconds prior to the lander, and it would have actually filmed the lander landing.
So, judging by the way that you're saying this, it didn't go as intended.
Well, so the lander, which is kind of shaped like RJ. RJ, you're going to participate in this, right? So here's RJ, right? And pretend this is the lander.
Yeah.
As it was coming down, it had a roll excursion, which we heard live, and they downplayed it. Like, there's an 8-degree roll excursion that were like, oh, success, end trans, and we're ending the transmission. Congratulations. But they had this roll excursion. So what they believe happened is, as it was, transversing down, it clipped like a rock and ended up on its side. It didn't tumble. It just ended up on its side. So they're still getting telemetry. There's still, like, there's solar panels on it that are still getting light. I mean, it's at the South Pole of the fucking moon.
Yeah. Now, does it have the means to unfuck itself?
No, it can't stand itself back up.
Oh,
but
okay.
So at Embry-Riddle, they're actually been they've been reprogramming it to see how, like, if they launch the camera off of it like 4 or 5 meters, and they're trying to see, like, what best angles and things like that they can get to see what the lander's situation is and maximize the science they're going to get from it.
Yeah. So
Embry-Riddle's still working on that. And I just think it's like, it takes some, I don't know. Nobody knows fucking what Embry-Riddle is as a fucking university. Like, it's an aeronautical university that lives in obscurity because it's an aeronautical engineering school, which what fucking nerd is looking for that as their school of choice. It's crazy fucking expensive. If the Air Force hadn't paid for it, I would have never fucking gone there.
Yeah.
And, there's no sports. Like, they have some sports programs, but they don't compete at the D division, even the D3 level.
Right.
So, they might. It's like Sun Division basketball and some baseball. But regardless of all that, they make aeronautical engineers and fucking pilots for the most part. That's what they're known for. And now they're getting more and more into the space technologies and shit like that. And having something on a lander that's fucking gone to the moon and now still operating is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, and you said it was all made by students?
Yeah. This was a student. So the lander itself was built by a company called Fuck, which would be a great name for a company landing on the moon. Especially one that hit a rock and fucking fell over. Like
more like fuck.
Peter Griffin. Fuck. Was Allied Industries? I think Allied Industries. Help me, Vickers. Are you in the chat? What is it?
The only Allied I know of is a security guard company.
Hello, Brinks. Inside joke.
Right.
The lander's named Odyssey, but the company, I think, is Allied. Anyway, somebody on chat will correct me. Intuit Machines. That's the name of it, not Allied Industries.
Okay.
I wasn't even close. Anyway, so we landed on the moon. Landed
on the moon!
This was a commercial product. They brought some NASA stuff on there. Another fucking amazing thing was so we launched this thing off on SpaceX, right? Thanks for flying SpaceX. Fucking get this thing going towards the moon. And it takes about a week to get out there. They start uncorking it, getting into orbit, and realize they fucking left the lens caps on the fucking lasers that, like, this, thankfully, this isn't Embry-Riddle. This is like this is another part of the lander. The lasers they were going to use to fucking basically figure out where the safe place to land.
Right. Left the caps on all of them.
No worky. Like the remove before flight.
Yeah.
Not so much.
Oof.
Because lasers are bad for your eyes. So they're like, well, we have covers on those. And those covers are still protecting your eyes right now.
While it's on the moon.
Right. So what they ended up doing was there was a science package on board that had like basically terrain lasers on board. So, but instead of like a 6 laser package that would have had like this level of accuracy, I think it was 2 lasers, 2 or 3. It was on board. So what they did was they put it in orbit. So it was in orbit for like 2 hours while they recoded the machine to take the lasers from the science package and actually use that as the fucking device to do the measurements to be able to even make the landing.
That's crazy. Just the fact that we have people that fucking smart
Right?
that can.
It's that's the human element, right? That's the shit that AI isn't going to be able to do.
Yeah.
AI is not going to go like, how to fuck. Like AI is going to hit a point where it's like, all right, well, this is fucked.
Yep.
Like they're not
Shutting down.
Yep. It's like, no, this is going to go. It's going to have an orbital decay after so long a period of time and just crash into the moon. Fuck it. Humans figure out weird shit to do by looking at something and figuring out and having like that hive mind. We're the ultimate quantum computer, right? We get a bunch of us together and we figure shit out.
Yeah.
And that's AI is not going to be able to do that. Anyway, a lot of cool stuff happened just to get us to this point. It's further south than anything has landed, according to them. So they did land. They are communicating with it. We're getting some pictures back. They're kind of grainy.
Yeah.
So hopefully the Embry-Riddle camera gets off and we get some
My penis is so smooth.
and we get some good pictures. It's also the first time Wi-Fi has ever been on the moon.
Oh.
So if there's something, Embry-Riddle provides Wi-Fi to the moon. There you go.
There you go.
So there you go. Go to Embry-Riddle and you too can learn how to put Wi-Fi on the moon. Yeah. So anyway, along that ilk, and I'm spending time on this. I'm going to talk more about cleaning out my grandparents' house later.
Yeah. I'm sure there's tons of gems.
Check out this thing.
A news week from July of '69. Hold on, let me show the people. A special section: how we got there, where we're going. I'd love to see that. But...
So it's a news week from July 7th. So we hadn't got there just yet.
Yeah.
But
my God.
Yeah, I just thought it has my grandfather's postage thing on the front.
I saw that.
So he was getting Newsweek, and there's probably the actual Newsweek afterwards.
Somewhere
I have
in his goods.
I have the Life magazine, a couple of Life magazines from when Kennedy got assassinated, and some other things that I think would be interesting to keep. But yeah, it was kind of poignant, going back to the moon, and then here's this.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. I would love to just sit down and read this thing cover to cover just to kind of see what things were like back then,
Yeah. Yeah. And there's probably some interesting perspective in there about Vietnam. Yeah. So anyway, honestly, we can have it here in the studio for a little bit. And if you want to read it, feel free.
Sure.
But yeah, it's pretty fucking cool to find some of this old shit.
Yeah.
And be able to relate it to shit, even present day.
Yeah, I really want to read their whole where we're going from here section.
Right.
Let's see how accurately they predicted that one.
Well, it's interesting too, right? So I'm starting the Space Shuttle Stories book, the Smithsonian one, and it's like a atlas size. It's got all kinds of great color pictures and shit in it, and the shuttle they started getting ready for the shuttle in fucking in the late 60s, early 70s. So it was the Apollo program was in full fucking froth when they were getting ready to start the shuttle program.
Mm-hmm.
And after the moon landing and the way the moon tapered off and the way the funding tapered off, it was like so much stuff had to change or where the trajectory of NASA was.
Right.
That it's taken us 50 years to get back there. It's just, it's absolutely remarkable.
Yeah. And is Artemis still scheduled for next year?
I think so. I know there was another huge delay.
Yeah.
I did see an article about the RS-25s coming off the test stand. They're the new RS-25s that they built.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you who don't know, the RS-25 is the space shuttle engines. And for the other Artemis that launched, they used basically space shuttle engines
Yeah.
that were in the space shuttle rotation on Artemis, and they obviously didn't make it because they weren't reusable. So, but they've been building new ones.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have our own fucking rocket engines again.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that we didn't have them for so long is just absolutely pathetic. But that is a story for another time.
Yeah. It's funny.
My penis so smooth.
I've been watching a lot of Neil deGrasse Tyson videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
And yeah, he brings it up all the time. You know, it's science gets pushed when there's a military benefit to it, or when there's some sort of political,
Yep.
know,
Yeah,
aspect.
that's when the money goes. Yeah, it's fucking fascinating. Sidebarring to this sidebar, I was talking about it. Who the fuck was I talking about? I don't even remember now, but it was the money is like how much things cost. Like if you talk about like the Saturn V and the moon landing and everything else, and how we got to that point,
Mhm.
what we had to create, the technologies we had to create, and the timelines we had to create them, and everything else, like how we jumped from one place in 1958 to another place where we were in 1970
Mhm.
is such an order of magnitude different, because this was like spare no expense, all of the smart people in the room doing it, and then everything, we're going to make it work with all the resources and everything else. You
Yeah.
can do anything, but as soon as the politics get back into it, and the people get back into it, and everything else, like people, money, and all the other things, then it's like, okay, now
It's like when Palpatine shows up and says, "Hey, you've got the full backing of the Empire's coffers,
right.
so go make it happen."
Yeah, and now power hungry fucking homeboy, what's his name, Buddy Hackett.
Oh,
But Buddy Hackett's like,
fucking Hemlock.
yeah, Buddy Hemlock is like, I want to be in charge of all the scientists, and the Emperor's like, not today.
But we'll get there.
Yeah,
So we're jumping ahead a little bit.
That's a little preview for the Bad Batch thing.
Real quick before we get into our weeks, I have a day in Star Wars today.
Yeah, let's do it.
So on this day, February 26th in 1980, let me get it up.
94.
84.
94.
84. Any idea what would have happened on this day in 1984?
This day in 1984,
Mm-hmm.
Jedi comes out on VHS.
Close. That's actually the day before, February 25th in 86, but that's a good guess. But no, on this day, CBS Network's premiere of Episode 4, A New Hope, draws 36% of the entire television audience for that time.
Wow.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm pretty sure I remember watching it that day on CBS, because, we're a year removed, a little less than a year removed from Jedi at this point, right? And obviously I'd seen, if you've listened to the show long enough, I saw Empire after I saw Jedi and New Hope. I saw Empire like in like 86 or 87.
Right.
Or no, maybe it was 85. Whenever we got our first Betamax player. Probably 85. But, you know, and I remembered seeing A New Hope probably on TV, like maybe it was playing on HBO at a friend's house or something like that. But I know I had seen it before, but I had seen Return of the Jedi in theaters in 83. And it had been a long time since I had seen A New Hope. It had been a really long time. And I remember it was kind of a big deal when it was going to be on TV again, just on normal network TV. And I
Right.
remember watching most of it on network TV that night and just being like, oh, yeah, I remember all this. The scene that really sticks in my head is when Obi-Wan's fucking turning off the shields. Or the tractor beam. Yeah. Like that scene, like I specifically remember sitting in front of my TV in fucking 84 and watching that scene where he.
Man, I wish I could say I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of those weird memories that's always stuck with me.
Yeah. Nah, I can't say I have any memory of that. Damn.
Yeah. And then now, do you remember in like the late 80s, early 90s when on Christmas Day, like like TBS or somebody would do like the Star Wars trilogy marathon?
Yep.
You know, before I had them all on VHS and I could just do it myself whenever I wanted. So I'd always look forward to Christmas in the late 80s, early 90s to watch the whole
TBS
trilogy.
was great for that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before they started like 24 Hours of a Christmas Story, then that took over. But
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I do remember that. It's been a long. That was so long ago.
It was. Well, I mean, yeah, we're talking 84, fucking 40 years ago. Yeah, 40 years ago today.
My God.
Yeah. Well, sorry to make you feel old, but yeah, it's
No, my body makes me feel old. That just makes me
sad.
sad.
All right. Well, speaking of sad, you ready to get into our weeks?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I have, as always, in addition to
The sacred Jedi.
not a whole lot this week, but first of all, when I went to Galaxy's Edge last year with Bob Healy for the Star Cruiser, you know, I bought the park exclusive figure sets while I was there.
Yeah.
I actually bought an extra one while I was there. That one, the animal one.
Yeah.
Because Kristen wanted one. She was gonna like open it up and put them all over her desk. And we're gonna talk about her new computer desk in a minute. But when we finally got that together and she started setting it up, she realized she didn't have any room. So she's like, "Here, take this. Do what you wish with it." So I'm like, "Well, I don't have an open version of this yet. So here we go." So now all of these droids or creatures, like I got porgs, we got 2 different kinds of monkey lizards, we got a Minoc. So I'm gonna open this and put them around the Sacred Black Series somewhere.
Fucking monkey lizards.
Yeah.
Can we pretend to put one on a spit? Can we figure out how
I'm
to...
honestly shocked they didn't do some kind of a toy like that when they started making Mandalorian toys.
Yeah.
Make the fucking monkey lizard on the fucking
That'd be
stick
beautiful.
being roasted while the others are in the fucking cage, just all terrified.
I'd buy it.
I'm sure you would.
100% I'd buy that. That motherfucking little screeching piece of shit.
So the other thing, and again, when I was a kid, I fucking loved him. I thought he was the funniest fucking thing. But differences of opinion, I guess. So you see, I've also got those comic book Black Series figures at the top, the ones that come in like the book.
Yeah.
And I keep finding new ones that I don't have. For instance, I finally picked up, I could have swore I already had this, but I looked up there and I didn't, the Darth Maul one.
Ooh.
And this is shirtless Maul.
Oh, he's
He's
dead.
all fucking jacked.
He's dead sexy.
Yeah, he is.
Look at my sexy body.
But yeah, come to find out I didn't have this one. So, I mean, I have a Maul Black Series figure, but it's not like shirtless sexy Maul.
If you want my body and you think I'm sexy, come on, babe, just let me know.
So yeah,
What if I just did the show like this?
people might wonder.
Sexy Maul.
Yeah.
Like, hello, I'm Sexy Maul.
Believe it or not, I think they would actually prefer to see you.
That's funny. You will make me laugh.
Yep.
You are a funny man.
And Smirky Bear Studio says this is the best mall figure ever released, and I'm starting to agree with you.
Yeah.
So maybe I should get another one to open, but that's a story for another day. So that's it. That's all for the Black Series figures. Okay, sidebar. Let's talk about Kristen's computer desk. Okay.
Yeah.
Got her a nice computer desk a couple of months ago. It's like it takes a lot of assembly. It's got like it's motorized. It's because it's like a standing desk.
Okay.
And it's got like presets, and you can preset the motor for different spots.
Nice.
And it's also like a big L-shaped desk, and it was in like fucking 1,000 pieces. So finally, last weekend, I decided to put this thing together because I've been procrastinating, and she's been getting on my case about it. So finally, like, all right, I'm doing it this weekend, and I did it. Motherfucker. Okay, so it's an L shape, right? And it's designed to where you could do the L shape on either side, right? It's reversible.
Right.
Which is, I mean, great. You got options. Didn't say a fucking thing about that in the instructions. And I noticed about an hour into this 5-hour project that the fucking instructions, half of them were it one way and half of it were the other way. Not like, this is how you do it if you want to do this direction. No. This is like, first 10 steps, make it look like it's like shaped this way. Then the next 10 steps, they fucking flip the picture for no goddamn reason without telling you.
My God.
I literally spent an hour looking at it going, why is this different? Why doesn't this fucking match? And why is it different from what they just told me to do, 10 minutes ago?
Is this an IKEA thing?
No, it's I don't know what brand it is, but it's really nice. Like much better quality than anything IKEA.
Right.
Like we spent hundreds on this thing. But and once it was together, it's fucking awesome. But yeah, they didn't fucking warn me like, hey, this is a reversible desk. And oh, by the way, we're just going to kind of mix and match the instructions. Sometimes it'll be going this way. Sometimes it'll be going that way. You just got to figure it the fuck out. And I'm like, oh,
Some engineers laughing their ass off. Right
Probably.
now. Like it's, oh my God. That
Yeah.
Dude, building instructions, that is one of the worst like human factors things ever, because the amount of money you would have to spend on actually making instructions that are like 100% accurate to the lowest common denominator, it'd be an exorbitant novel. Right. So that's why like IKEA gets a bad rap for a lot of their stuff, but there's not a lot of words to make you get confused with IKEA shit.
Sure, yeah.
It's a lot of picture-based stuff, and
yeah, I built a lot of IKEA stuff. It's not that bad.
It's really not that bad. There's just a lot of pieces. It's just annoying.
Yeah.
And you can't move it. Like honestly, like once you move with IKEA furniture, like one move and a lot of it's not survivable.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you take it fully apart and then put it back together, which is fine. Whatever. But yeah, like from a human factor standpoint, building instructions are absolutely horrific. Unless you've got a Lego app and it goes like,
Yeah, Legos are one thing, but
but even with the Legos, like when you're looking at it, it's like, all right, I'm looking at this 3D. I'm looking at a fucking isometric projection, basically, of what this should look like, and I'm counting buttons on the Lego. On this Lego brick to see if I'm in the right position, and it just happens to look a little bit off. Like these lines don't look exactly like what I'm looking at. So am I in the right spot? Is it exactly what it's supposed to look like? And then you build for another, I don't know, hour, and then realize that like, no, that should have been one brick over because you didn't have it at the correct angle to look at it.
Yep.
It happens.
Yeah, and one thing that I have noticed about Lego instructions is the colors, especially when it comes to like grays, because they make grays look black or like white, depending on the shade of gray.
Yeah, some grays are more gray. Like it's like there's so many different colors of gray in Lego.
Yeah,
like there's blue gray. Then there's oh god, I can't even. There's so many shades of gray. And when you're trying to like, oh, hey, I'm trying to separate my Lego collection. Like, I'm going to make a bin of gray. Well, you better be prepared for a lot of bins because there's a lot of different gray shades, which is great. I love it, but the tedium is definitely there.
So yeah, but that was the the joy of putting that desk together when they just decide randomly to just fucking flip it for no reason mid construction.
Now she's got an awesome desk though.
Oh, she does. It's fucking great. So it was well worth it. It was a sacrifice she was willing to make. My frustration. So
She's sitting there beating you with a stick. Like, come on.
yeah, some of you may die, but that's a price I'm willing to pay. Okay. The other thing that I had in here, and let me just get back to my notes right quick. Yes, the Kyber. All right. So you see this? It's a green Kyber crystal.
I do. I see.
That was the one that came in my build your own lightsaber this last time. Remember,
yep.
I made it with the green blade, but I also mentioned that I bought a yellow Kyber crystal for it also. And I decided to swap them out. So I took it apart, took out the green Kyber crystal and put in the new color, which looks and sounds differently. So I just wanted to demonstrate it real quick, if you don't mind.
Wow.
Yeah, so I went with the yellow Kyber crystal. And I think it suits this style better. Again, this is the High Republic style lightsaber. And then one more time.
Huh.
Yeah.
How hard is it to swap the Kybers out?
Took me 5 minutes. You just got to take the ends off and then the middle parts off, and then you got to unclick the emitter and then swap it out. And yeah, wasn't difficult.
Man, can I tell you that I cannot wait to fucking go and build one?
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome.
I'm like the kid. So there's a kid at McDonald's, right? When I go to the drive-thru every morning and get my McDonald's. Hey, that McDonald's is upside down.
What the hell?
Look at that.
Are they in distress?
It says McDonald's.
What the fuck?
That says McDonald's.
And well, there's also Asian lettering on the right of it.
What the fuck do I have in my hand?
McDonald's.
Who can tell me what this is? Was I in an Eddie Murphy movie for a second?
Oh, it's Whack Arnold's.
It's Whack Arnold's. With kanji next to it.
Yeah.
The fuck?
I got nothing. And again, if you're only listening to the audio, you're totally missing out on this YouTube.
I have no idea.
It's literally the McDonald's logo upside down to look like a W. But the letters are normal, except they changed the M with a W. McDonald's. This has got to be some sort of advertising.
It's got to be
thing that they're doing that we just missed out.
McDonald's.
What in the fuck? Or the fucking the printing press just went fucking haywire and
the press became sentient and it was like, fuck your McDonald's. Yeah. Now you're McDonald's. Enjoy, bitch.
It looks right, but it's not.
Yeah, I just picked it up. I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway.
Wow. Okay.
So my morning Diet Coke from McDonald's. And the kid there, he has family that basically lives in Disney World.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes down there all the time. And so he's giving me pointers of like getting into Galaxy's Edge and where I need to go and all this stuff. So every morning I see him, he's like, God, how many more days? And he'll tell me something that I need to go and look at in Galaxy's Edge. And he's as excited about me going as I am.
Nice.
So it's really funny. But yeah, I want to. Do I need another lightsaber? No,
of course not. Do any of us need more lightsabers?
I mean, probably, but I mean these are awesome. But that thing is just. It's awesome.
It's a thing of beauty.
I love the idea of being able to switch the thing out and have it can be a completely different lightsaber. That meets the intent, right? There's a level of realism that meets the intent for, and it's just like, oh god, it's so awesome. I can't wait.
Yeah,
and we'll talk about it a lot
when you get back
in 2 weeks.
Okay,
cool. It's almost time.
Fuck. This whole year is going by so goddamn fast.
No, it's fucking insane.
Like the fact that we're almost done with February is crazy as well.
No shit.
So, though we do have a leap year this year, so
February
we get
29th. A whole extra day.
Hooray!
Yay!
Yeah, I felt the same way. All right. Moving on with my week.
One more work day. Hooray.
I have been considering getting into Star Wars Legion.
Okay, what's that?
Okay, so are you familiar with Warhammer, the tabletop game with the little fucking figures that you paint and everything?
I am.
Star Wars does the exact same thing. They have their own fucking tabletop game called Star Wars Legion. Little figurines. You paint them and you have like big fucking battles. And I'm seriously considering getting into that.
Sounds very similar to the Salvage Deep Space game that we talked about a little bit.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very similar. Now, obviously, you have to paint your own figures, which I am not an artistic person whatsoever. But I've been thinking about it. And I mean, I feel like that would be probably a pretty good relaxing hobby to have.
Yeah.
Like coming in here on a weekend when I'm all fucking stressed out from work or something, or on a weekday, and, you know, just working on like a fucking stormtrooper, you know, just like perfecting this paint job kind of thing.
Yeah. Dude, totally. 100%. That's why I Lego.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like sifting through a pile of Legos sometimes is just therapeutic enough to wind me down.
Yeah. And then on top of that, there's a whole game to actually play with this thing. Like it's a competitive squad based strategy game.
Is it is there a place locally that plays?
Yeah, Top Deck right up the road here. Like
No
2 minutes up the road.
No shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be game to watch. I don't know if I'd play, but I'd be game to watch. My attention span is so fucking short.
Oh yeah, no, trust me, I'm the same way. We're about to get to that actually. But yeah, it's something I've been considering. If any of our listeners out there have dabbled in this, I'd love to get some feedback.
Bronco Fett's will ventilate that room.
Oh yeah, with all the paint smell and everything.
That's a good call, Bronco Fett.
Yeah. You come in here one week and I'll be fucking passed out on the table.
Like big
fucking
smile
paint,
on your face.
Yeah, paint jars everywhere.
Oh, come on, man. Come get me, man. I'm high.
You know, I actually watched that scene from South Park where Randy Marsh like jizzes all over himself. You know, you see the meme all the time of him like,
yeah. I posted it today, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, so I finally saw the actual scene from the show that's from. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he like found an old computer and like searched up all the old porn that he used to like to watch.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It exploded. What did I post it for? Oh God. Now I have to. Where's my phone? I posted in response to something. Oh, I think it was Don Solsky had posted something on Facebook, and that was my response to it.
Nice. Oh, probably Legos, right?
Yeah, it was the red Legos.
Oh,
it was
yeah,
the red,
Star Destroyer. Yeah.
Ugh.
Speaking of Legos, did you see the Ashley Eckstein in a Ahsoka Lego dress?
No.
Yeah, so apparently Ashley Eckstein wore a dress with Ahsoka's face on it that was completely made out of Legos.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
that is completely awesome.
Yeah. But Bronco Fett's got a story. Apparently his wife saved his life when he was doing some Warhammer painting. I guess he was in a low ventilated room and we almost lost him. So thankfully your wife
yes,
came in and saved the day.
That's right. Yeah, that could have ended poorly.
Yeah. So the last thing for me is, I really haven't been doing much lately. Like, I have been in a shit mental state for a little while now, and it's completely killed my ability to, focus on anything, do anything fun. Like, I don't want to, like, I get this time to play video games or do whatever I want, and I just don't do anything. It's been getting bad lately. I don't know.
You thought about the gym again?
Yeah, but I can't seem to find the motivation to fucking literally do anything. It's tough to get out of bed every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have like no motivation to do anything like productive or otherwise. Like my fucking job at work has been suffering, or my ability to do my job, I should say, is suffering. But yeah, I've been kind of fucked lately, and I saw my doctor this morning. We're talking about raising my meds again. I now have an appointment with an actual psychiatrist in addition to my therapist. So we'll see.
Oh, that's good though.
Yeah.
That's good. Take a look at it from all angles.
Yeah.
And why is that on?
Your phone? Did you turn it on?
I did I? No, take a look at it from all angles and look, we're at the tail end of the fucking winter too.
Yeah.
So the doldrums are a real fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully with the weather getting a little bit better, it's sun being out a little bit longer, even though we're not like super outdoorsy,
Yeah.
it makes a difference.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for
It
sure.
really does. When you're driving to work in the dark and coming home in the dark, it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And it's tough to trudge through it. It really is. So I think, dude, get into this fucking game and start painting and get high off of paint and
yeah, maybe that's the solution.
and be able to kind of focus in on something that at the end of it, like you do a little bit of painting and you look and you see like, oh wow, look, I made something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it can be little, like
Just
again. So
My penis so smooth.
that's the thing with the Legos. Like sometimes if I make something at all and it's even something little, then look, I made something. And some days I don't. Some days I just sort.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know what it is, man. I have had absolutely no interest in doing anything, be it fun or productive. And it's starting to have an effect on me, and I don't like it. But yeah, hopefully, like what you said, hopefully with the weather getting warmer and everything else, maybe that'll help.
Weather getting warmer, a couple of alternate views on your medication, taking a look at that, being honest with your doctors on how you're feeling. Which
Helmet Fire's in the chat saying, you need drugs.
I like drugs. Yeah, unfortunately, security clearances.
Oh, yeah.
Security
Yeah,
clearances
that
are
kind of
bitch.
drugs, yeah, not so much.
I'm also talking to myself. Yeah. No, just keep plugging away. The good news is you're kind of recognizing it.
Yeah.
So that helps get through it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like, I don't think I was noticing it at first. And then I just kind of had this realization probably about a week or so ago. Like, fuck, I'm kind of like spiraling down really fast.
Yeah, I know exactly how you feel.
Yeah. So if I've seemed weird recently, that's probably why.
Weirder.
Yeah.
Weirder.
Right. Yeah. More than normal. So, but yeah, that's it. That's my week. Some Star Wars stuff, some depressing stuff.
Yeah. Well, even more depressing when I think about how old we are. So for my week, I brought up Liam's retirement, which first of all, talk about memory, right? How bad my memory is. I got here today, and I couldn't remember if I told you about the guy we work with's retirement party being last week. And it was like, God, did I fucking mention it or not? Because I can't. There's parts of my memory that work really well. And the bitch of it is that I understand how memory works. This is part of the stupid degree. Like,
Well, you've got me curious.
well, I understand the mechanics of how that memory works, but I'm on a lot of medication that doesn't help
Right.
with memory.
Makes things a little fuzzy.
Yeah, and with my fucking ADHD, it doesn't help either. But anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, Liam's retirement. So a dude we used to fly with, who in my mind, he's still like not a kid, but one of the younger guys.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, because he was younger. Like he was.
He was in my fucking radio operator tech school. I said we're like, this is 2002.
Yeah.
And what's funny is seeing him, like, he was not in our unit when he was in, and Jason and I, he was still a boom operator when I became a radio operator.
Yeah.
So he came into our unit a little bit later, as did our buddy. And what was weird about, like, Liam was my first student.
Yeah.
So as an instructor, which was one of my favorite things to do ever in the airplane, was instructing. I mean, it was the best part of our jobs.
Yep.
In my
I was on the receiving end of those instructions quite a bit in my early career.
and I know I was a pain in the ass, but
But you knew what you were doing, and you were in your element.
oh my god, do you remember? Because I fucking, now that you said that, it keyed off the memory. Do you remember the relay that would make it go Nordo? Do you remember the name? Wasn't it like?
Oh god.
I have to go home and look it up. I meant to do it after the thing, but I ended up going
Yeah.
home later than I wanted.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyway, Liam brought up a story about the going Nordo, and I'm like, oh, that the relay. It was like K7. Something K7. It was like 3 or 4 letters in it.
I think
Letters
that
and
penguin
numbers.
has drowned long
Yeah,
time
I
ago.
agree. But the ghost of that penguin is still there. It's
Yeah.
like, fuck. And one of the things I gave Liam, I had I printed a picture of the 7.5 that I took, and just one of the random ones I took at McGuire. And on the back of it, I put a copy of the old RFD. Right? And I was like, hey, you were my first student, so I figured this would be appropriate.
That's
way
great.
to remember me. And after he was telling the story about this Nordo, I went up to him like, give me that picture right now. I get the picture, and I fucking unfold RFD. I'm like, this relay. What was the fucking name of that relay?
Uh-huh.
And it, like, me, Dave Luther, and Liam were like, fuck, you can't remember the name of that relay. Anyway, it just, again, 6-year anniversary today of the start of my retirement, and my first student, radio operator student, is just, it's just weird, man. It was just weird. It was a weird experience.
Yeah. And hey, if you had told me about it, I could have joined you.
I know.
We could have both been weird together.
Yes, I know. And I suck really bad because I didn't.
Well, so the way it went was last week when you showed up before we started the show, you're like, hey, did you hear Liam's retirement party is coming up? I'm like, oh, no, I hadn't heard that. And then we started talking about something completely different and never went back to it.
God damn it, Dave. I am the worst. I am the absolute worst.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm trying to get up to your speed pretty quickly.
Don't.
And I think it's
Pump the brakes. It's the worst ever.
yeah. I don't think I have a choice, honestly.
Yeah, it's like a train.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop very fast. So, do you think clones eat pork chops?
Yeah. I mean, who wouldn't eat pork chops?
I don't know. It's a weird thing in the chat. Anyway, so weird mental stuff with the retirement, just kind of like feeling it a little bit from that. That was Friday. Saturday, still working on my grandparents' house, getting that emptied out. And it's just it's physically and emotionally draining, just because as it's getting closer to the fact that that's not going to be a place for us ever again.
Yeah. That's gotta suck.
Yeah, it's just like
Just like the sentimental attachment to the
yeah,
place.
it is. It is. And it's again, it's just a place full of things, but I am a person of things. Like I like things. I like to look at things. I like looking at those things, and those things have a connection in my brain that creates that dopamine, that reaction. Some people don't need that, and I just happen to be one of those people. My grandparents were were professional hoarders. They were the most organized hoarders you've ever known in your life. So on Saturday, we emptied out the garage, which I remember them moving into that house in like 1981.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember ever seeing the garage floor.
Oh God.
So when we emptied out the garage to like get stuff set up, I mean, we're getting stuff set up for auction.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a no kidding like ice box Like, you know what an ice box is?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is a legit ice box in like pristine condition. Like, you could use it today.
Huh.
And it's been in that garage since like when it got put down. That's where it's sat
Wow.
for 43 years.
Damn.
So we got that moved around, moved a bunch of stuff around, going through boxes. Some stuff was cool. Found some nautical nonsense. Found a box of old models that were my dad's. And it was like there were 30 ship models in this box.
Yeah.
30.
Yeah.
It was insane. 30 models like this long in one fucking box. It's just like, whoa.
And is that when like your dad was like a teenager or something?
I guess. Like,
Okay.
because they're like Essex class and, you're talking like late 60s, early 70s. So it would have been like when he was, finishing high school,
Yeah.
going into college. And they're like, there's a lot of fucking models of boats. He really liked boats. It's kind of like, oh yeah, it makes sense. He went into the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
Go figure. And he was on an aircraft carrier. There's a fucking dozen aircraft carriers in this fucking box.
Kind of like his son, who's really into aviation.
Really into airplanes, and now I have airplanes everywhere. Yeah, it's a thing. So, yeah, so we found stuff like that, and one of the things we found in one of the boxes, we opened up this box, and it was, it's layers of stratification. It's kind of like archaeological digging.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of get down and like, oh, this box probably hasn't moved since it was in the house before this one. When it moved from one house, moved to another house, moved.
Right.
And we open the box, and on the very, very top of it is a wax paper covered box, about a little bit bigger than my palm, a little bit bigger than this. And it's addressed. It's from my grandfather, from his military, PO box or whatever. So obviously it was sent from overseas.
Yeah.
And it was addressed to my grandmother, stationed in, she was stationed in blank, Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. So, open the box. It's a big chunk of my grandfather's parachute from when he jumped in Corregidor.
Wow.
So what they would do back in the day is the paratroopers, they would send their parachutes home and their girls, girlfriends or whatever, would use them for wedding dresses
Oh shit.
because they were silk.
Yeah.
So this was him sending this back.
Right.
Now, we had heard stories about this for years.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things where we never saw the actual item.
Right.
It was always just a story. And then fucking uncovering it while we were cleaning out the garage was just like, holy shit. When I saw it, I was just, it blew me away.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know if I mentioned it last week, but I legitimately believe that I could open up a fucking museum and write a book about those two, their war experience.
Yeah.
We have plenty of fucking material to fucking go over. It's so much.
Yeah, I believe it. It's got to be just this crazy treasure trove of just random stuff that you're uncovering.
Dude, speaking of random stuff, do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
These?
Hell yeah. The Viewmaster.
Right?
Yeah.
Look at that. So, take a gander what's in there.
Oh, man. Now we're going back in time. Oh, that's awesome. The Joker escapes from prison and plans revenge against Batman. Fuck, I forgot that these had like actual 3D
Yeah.
aspects to them.
In 3D.
That's right.
Yeah, so there was a toy box that Rick and I found, and Ricky is doing lodge stuff tonight. That's why he's not in the chat.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, we uncovered this in one of the things, and we're like, God, this is in fucking great condition. And I have 3 more fucking cartridges
Oh yeah.
as well. I have the Fox and the Hound, and the Incredible Hulk,
Nice.
and the Star Trek II: Wrath of Khan.
Oh, I got to see that one.
Yeah.
Do you have it with you?
Yeah, it's right there.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. I got to see the Star Trek one.
Oh, there it is.
All right, and we got to line it up with the starting point.
Yep. So I don't know. It's like, if I hold this up to the camera, I wonder if you can see what the pictures are.
Kinda.
Kind of.
Oh shit.
But yeah, if this doesn't take you back on the Wayback Machine, then nothing will.
And it's all stuff from the movie, but it's all presented in very 3D. In 3D.
So yeah, that's again, I don't know if it has there. You know, it doesn't matter if it has value or not. It just it's we had, you know, Rick and I both, between the two of us, we had tons of these things for the ViewMaster.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember how we bought them. Like I don't even remember the packaging. I remember what a new one looked like in the package.
Yeah, the ViewMaster itself.
Yeah, but I don't remember what the fucking things looked like in the
I feel
package.
like they were like, you know, very similar to the old style action figures. It was like a cardboard backing, and it was just like a plastic cover over like a stack of these fucking sheets.
what they were.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I bet you if we looked online, there's probably, I mean, like anything else,
yeah.
somebody's had them.
No doubt. There's got to be Star Wars ones out there.
Savage just dropped a video on R2D2 blueprints. Motherfucker.
Now Dave's like, got to cut the show short so I can go watch the Savage video.
But yeah, it's stuff like that. I could do an entire show just on the treasures from my grandparents' house.
Yeah.
But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about my winnings of the Lego lottery.
Oh?
Yes. So I brought these out. I didn't
Caught a glimpse of them.
I couldn't hide them.
Like this fucking Grievous. Oh my god. I've never seen a Lego Grievous. And now.
Yeah. So I'm on Facebook Marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
And
we were just talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've
It's blurry.
looking for Legos
Looking for the Legos.
all the time because I like to get a lot of Legos
Mm-hmm.
at a lot space of Lego
Yes.
and be able to.
What? No, that's not Vader. That's fucking Revan.
It is.
What?
I have more to say about that here in a second.
All right, go ahead. Keep going.
So I'm on Marketplace and I see a box of Lego, and it's like $50 for this box of Lego,
Mm-hmm.
and it had been marked down from 75, and it was a good size box. It was probably a little bit more than what I'd buy at the Goodwill.
Right.
So
Yeah, shirtless Mall.
yeah, right, same guy. So I message and say, hey, now granted, this is
Yo. Do you know what this is? Do you know how rare it is to have his freaking feet intact? I think the one that I have doesn't even have his feet intact.
well, yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
So it's 6 a.m.
Yep.
Right, I'm on Marketplace and I see this lot of Legos, so I send a message. It's again 6 a.m. I'm standing there in the shower. Send a message. I get a reply, and she says, I said, look, I'm coming from the base, if we want to do this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh, thank you for your service. I'll get you can take them for 40. I'm like, fucking sold.
Hell yeah.
So that afternoon on the way home from work, I stop and, pick up the box. Nice, easy transfer. It's some Wawa drug deal. which is always awkward, right? But I get it.
Meeting someone well, yeah, especially if it's a woman, right?
Yeah,
Because
totally.
the last thing she wants is to meet some random dude in private and then get raped.
Exactly. So totally get it. So I get everything home, and I'm just sorting through what's there. And when I looked in the picture, like what was in the top of the box was a 3/4 built Y-wing, which is what had me interested in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And as I started taking the stuff out of the box, I saw like, wow, there's a bunch of Lego minifigures in here.
Mm-hmm.
So there was some fakes in there. There was some the 3D printed ones that I was sifting through, but there was 15 minifigures, including these guys in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm lining them up, and Revan's there.
Yeah.
And I didn't know. I didn't because he didn't have the hood on, right? I
You guys can see Revan.
the lightsabers weren't all like some of these guys were missing lightsabers or whatever, and I just I parted them out with obviously what I had.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like putting this stuff together, and I'm like, God damn, I thought I'm like ogling over to Grievous and the Dooku, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the Dooku with the white hair and everything else, I'm like, man, that's got to be rare.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't see
So,
Dooku very often.
I go on to Bricklink, and I'm looking at the Dooku, and the Dooku alone is going for the average is like $45 for that Dooku.
Damn.
So used.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck that alone. If I go and trade it in at the brick shop or something, that'll get me $40 worth of Lego.
Yeah.
So so I take a picture and I send it to Alex, who I work with, and he's way bigger Lego enthusiast than me.
Mm-hmm.
Does a lot of mock build stuff. Really, really talented. And I'm like, yeah, look at the Grievous, look at the Dooku, and he's like, yeah, you're all excited about those, and I'm looking at the one that's really valuable. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I'll give you a hint, and he circles the hood because I didn't have the hood on the Revan.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm like, because I thought the hood went on Anakin.
Right.
And he's like, no, the hood goes on Revan.
Yeah, that does make sense.
All right. So I'm like, okay. And he said that Revan is worth $250.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's super rare.
Yeah, I mean, I've honestly never heard of them doing Revan in a Lego before.
Never. It is like out of an Old Republic set, apparently.
Oh,
and
man.
it's super rare. So I randomly at 6 a.m. see a box of Legos
Mm-hmm.
with a half built or 3/4 built Y-wing on the top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Go pick it up, and it's got that right there. The Grievous is 30 plus.
Jesus.
The
He looks good, though.
Ahsoka and the Maul are worth a little bit. Like there's hundreds of dollars in minifigures in there.
Yeah.
And I've never hit the Facebook Marketplace lottery like that before ever.
Yeah.
And the Revan in like I'll go to I would go to a brick shop and trade that in. Like I'll go, and if they have a tie that I don't have, I would totally trade that in. Like get store credit and fucking get a whole TIE fighter just for him. I mean, it's cool. It's cool to fucking have, but I'd rather have $250 worth of a fucking TIE fighter
fucking right.
than just the one dude.
Though the Revan is pretty awesome.
It is pretty awesome. And the way I have it displayed in my the display case with the other stuff, the LED lighting gets into the lightsabers and just lights it up a little bit. Oh, dude, it's so fucking cool. I'll show you a picture of it. So
This Ahsoka's pretty badass. I'm sure they've made a bunch of Ahsokas, but
Yeah, and
But she looks good.
yeah, they're all and we're all in like great condition. Like and the Grievous. So the Grievous had everything except for the lightsabers. It was missing. There was the randomness of the lightsabers. But I had I have tons of lightsabers.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And I couldn't find one leg.
Oh no.
One leg. And it was fucking annoying. So I was getting frustrated by it. And I sorted through all of the non-Lego, like because I still had it in a separate bag.
Mm-hmm.
I sorted through that again, found Dooku's hair in that, so I was stoked about that.
Yeah.
And then, but no leg. Went and sorted through the Lego that was there.
Mm-hmm.
No joy. So I'm like, fuck. So I got out, like, I have cases that the minifigures are in.
Mm-hmm.
I have, tackle box type things.
Yeah.
So I have Star Wars in one and regular minifigures in another.
Mm-hmm.
And, they're pieced out however is appropriate. So I opened it up and I was looking, and there was a bunch of battle droids too.
Yeah.
Like, most of them were intact. There was a K2SO.
Oh, no
that
shit.
was in there.
Nice.
Yeah, which I'd never seen before.
Yeah, I've never seen him in Legos.
And I look down and I see a battle droid that I had. I see the battle droid head on a weird body.
Mm-hmm.
It was on Grievous's body. So I had a Grievous body. I pick it up. It's got both legs. So I fucking popped a leg off of that, put it onto that guy. Fucking now he's 100%.
Nice.
And it looks fucking awesome. It's just especially with the light on it. It's just so fucking cool.
Yeah.
So the Solo, the Solo is just
I'm pretty sure this is Imaginext. It's yeah. I'm pretty sure it's an Imaginext figure. My kids had a bunch of those.
So the orange droid.
Yeah. So this guy, it's a 3 3/4 inch figure.
Yeah.
It's that same droid that we see all over the original trilogy and in a lot of the expanded stuff.
Now look at where your hand was on the droid.
His legs.
Yeah. See where your hands are?
Yeah.
See how it changes color?
Oh, that's weird.
It took me a little bit to find this guy, but apparently he is a Galaxy's Edge exclusive droid.
Okay.
It came in a pack. They all changed color.
Huh. I'll be damned.
Yeah. So random droid.
Yeah.
So, and when I picked up the stuff, she said, I'll have the SUV with the Star Wars stickers on the back. So she obviously and almost everything that was in there was Star Wars. There was a couple like monster truck builds or whatever.
Yeah.
Pieces to that. But
was this her stuff or like one of her kids like left the house?
it was one of her kids, and it seemed the way she said it made it seem like it was a younger kid, but she had said that he was looking to sell this stuff because he wanted money for vacation.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, I will put these to good use.
Yeah.
And yeah. So that's that. When I saw this eagle.
So yeah, just for reference, let's put it up here. If you know, you know. And the thing I was saying, the thing that's rare about this guy is his talons are actually intact, if you can see that.
Yeah. And I'm like, why? And there was a couple of G.I. Joe fucking waists.
Yeah?
Just waists.
Where are they?
I don't have them.
Oh, okay.
But they were unidentifiable. Like it wasn't fucking
The Native American guy that this came with. Yeah.
I can't fucking
I can't remember his name.
I can't think of the guy's name. Indian Joe. So it wasn't Indian Joe. But regardless, there was obviously at some point a G.I. Joe collection that had gotten into the set because there's a whole fuck ton of like guns.
Oh,
like,
yeah?
toy guns. But they weren't Joe sized. They were like slightly bigger. Like, so there was just a lot of random guns.
Yeah.
And they were like good scaling. Interesting. What did I do with those? I don't even know. Anyway. But yeah, I thought, wow, this has got to be. I didn't look it up, because quite frankly, I might just give it to you if you have him and it doesn't have the thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the one that I have that I got from my friend that we talked about last year, or 2 years ago now. I'm pretty sure his talons are broken off because I think that's a rarity is finding this guy with the freaking talon stolen because it locks right onto his wrist.
Yeah,
and it just stays there.
Yeah, and that's what I remember him. Like I remember the fucking commercial. When I saw it, I remembered the commercial.
Yeah,
because he remember him standing there with the commercial, and you see him like this.
Oh yeah,
it's like the close up, and he's like this with the Indian Joe with the fucking eagle on, and they go yeah, Spirit. Thank you, Bronco Fett. I like Indian Joe better, but Spirit is probably more culturally appropriate.
Right. Though I don't know.
I don't know if it is, but
yeah, we're gonna remember we're talking the early '80s here.
Yes. So yeah, Lego Lottery. I was so stoked. Now that I've brought it to the show and talked about it, I'm probably going to bring Revan by the local brick store and see, hey, what's there, and are you interested in making a trade? So that because I'm looking so the tie that I'm looking for is the one from Solo. It's the Solo tie.
Okay.
And
is it just rare or what?
It's expensive because it has a rare minifig with it. So it usually ranges somewhere in the $200 to $300 range.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. So because of that minifigure with it. Now, to be honest, I don't really give a shit about that minifigure. It's like a it's one of the Minbomb stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Which is super rare.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I really don't care about that one. I just want the tie. Because that build is slightly different. And it's one of the taller ones. Because you get like those ties, they're great. They're great little builds, but they're a little bit they're smaller.
Yeah, aren't
like
you a little short for a TIE fighter?
I love it. That's great. But I like the bigger scale.
Yeah.
The First Order one, the 2015 tie, that's the scale I want, and that the Solo one's in that scale. So
yeah.
I really want that tie. So we'll see.
All right.
But nice. Yeah, that was it. That was my Lego Lottery win.
Dude, that's awesome. That's fucking incredible. Now you've got me like wanting to start looking for shit on there, like G.I. Joe shit maybe, because I've still got a bunch of things I need to do to kind of get that collection, fixed up. Some stuff I'm missing, so that's incredible though.
Yeah,
very nice haul.
Just random. Yeah, and that's the kind of luck I usually don't have. So it was very serendipitous.
Yeah.
So
very cool. Alrighty, is that it for your week?
Yeah, I think we spent an hour and 20 minutes with our random bullshit.
Yeah.
Today
never fails.
It never fails.
All right, so are we ready to get to the main topic?
We should get to our main topic.
All right, let's talk about the Bad Batch season 3.
Yes,
dropped last week with these 3 episodes, all at once. And I gotta say, if you're gonna start out a new fucking season and dropping 3 episodes, this was the way to do it, because I don't know how you felt after watching them, but I was very satisfied after watching these 3 episodes.
Yeah, it was really all right. First of all, how are we going to do this? We're going to do like...
Oh, we're going to talk about them one by one.
All right. So are we going to give an overall thing and then like a spoiler-free thing?
All right, yeah.
Let's do that for those who may not have watched yet.
All right.
Get a chance.
So
So
pre-spoiler, what you got?
So the first episode, I was like, okay, I'm ready for the second one. And then into the third one, I was like, okay, I felt the same way. It's like, thank God there was 3. I felt like it was the most appropriate way. They were the right length.
Yeah.
And it felt serious. It felt mature.
Yes, very much so.
I was saying something to Rob at work, and with the Bad Batch, it has the same like maturation as the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Well,
because you got to remember, this is and it's a continuation of the Clone Wars, essentially.
Yeah, and each year it's got a little bit more mature.
Yes.
So that we're at this point, it's like, okay, there's no kid shit here.
Yeah. None.
Like,
none really at all.
yeah, everything that we're talking about, and the tone, the color, the light, everything is very, very just grim and serious.
Yeah.
And it almost felt like a fucking episode of Andor. Like there was,
Yeah, I can
a
see
couple
that.
of times where it's just like when the prisoners kind of sloughing along in hallways and shit like that. It's like it had that type of like kind of feel to it.
Oh yeah. And I almost wonder, sidebar, like I almost wonder if the success of Andor is going to trickle into other Star Wars products. Like because of, that serious tone and how they really like did a 180 on the seriousness, but how much it worked as well.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, it's possible.
Or
Maybe
just,
not in everything, but
maybe not
some stuff.
But damn, I love. Give me some drama. Give me some element of like these are serious times. It's not time for tattooed face fucking god damn it. God damn it.
You're never gonna let that go, are you?
Never gonna let it go. It had that one scene like when fuck it, spoilers.
Okay. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, we get the one scene where we see the Hunter and we see Wrecker.
Yeah, because those two are just like chilling by themselves at this point.
Yeah, and we see them and they're in helmet, and I'm like, oh, thank God, because I can take them seriously when they're in their fucking armor.
Yeah.
And then you get to another scene where it's like real somber and real serious, and he's got the fucking bandana on and it's a tattooed face, and I'm just like, ah, God, like, are we regretting this choice there, Dave? Like, are we regretting that we went with the fucking Rambo theme and we didn't change it now that we're all serious and shit?
Yeah. Okay. I'll give you that. But
anyway.
Yeah, no, the maturation is there. And yeah, it definitely seems like they're going full serious with this one. You get a little bit with Omega and her little fucking pet that she kind of domesticates. But besides that, yeah, extremely serious, far more mature tone to all of these. And I loved all three of these episodes. Like, I'm not going to lie. I thought they were all great in their own way. Mm-hmm. Especially the third. Like, once we get to the third, then it's like, okay, shit's starting to go down now.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's starting to it's progressing. Like how many episodes are there going to be?
15, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a couple times they double them up on a week. So apparently they're like 2-parter episodes, I would imagine.
Okay.
But yeah, this is going for the next 2 or 3 months. So yeah,
That's tough.
Yeah. And we're not going to do it every single week. We'll
I know, but I'm just thinking like just like having to wait. I like having to wait, but at the same time
yeah.
I liked having an hour and a half of getting to watch it. Mm-hmm. It was just the right amount of time.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's break some of these down a little bit.
Yeah.
So we'll start with the first episode, Confined. And it started off with a great recap of like the last, basically both seasons of Clone Wars, kind of getting us caught up. And
both seasons of Bad Batch.
What did I say? Clone Wars?
Clone Wars. Freudian slip.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I mean, let's be honest, guys. This is really seasons 8, 9, and 10 of Clone Wars.
Sure.
That's essentially what this is. But and I always love the new Star Wars logo with the flashing helmets, because you never know. You like it's always different, it seems like. And then every once in a while you got the Leo meme where you're pointing at the screen.
Yeah, I actually I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I watched the first one, and then the second one I'm like, oh, the helmets. And then I started looking for the helmets again.
Mm-hmm.
But from when the first one came on, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
So if there was a different one there in the first one, I didn't see it.
Okay. And this episode starts off with a shuttle that's coming in, an Imperial shuttle that's coming into this base on Tantus. Which, by the way, Tantus, I am such a fucking idiot. Tantus, this new laboratory that they're working out of this Mount Tantus, that's taken straight out of the Heir to the Empire book trilogy. You know, the Legends material. They took that straight from there. That's where Palpatine kept all of his old cloning cylinders. It's where he kept a whole bunch of artifacts and shit, and where that clone Jedi eventually kind of went and made his home base.
Fuck.
Yeah, I completely didn't catch that. I didn't notice that until I was doing some research on these episodes this afternoon. And I'm like, fuck, they took that right out of Heir to the Empire. Good job.
That is good work.
And it makes sense because this is still Palpatine's little private storage facility,
right?
so to speak.
This is where he's fucking, well, manufacturing and storage.
Yeah,
with a very elaborate fucking entry system to his fucking vault.
Right. Oh yeah, the rotating force fields and everything.
Do they need more lasers? Like, can we get a couple more lasers in here?
Yeah.
Like, all right, and they seem to be walking awful brisk through that. I mean, I feel like I'd be a little more tenuous.
Well, maybe you have to keep a specific pace, or you're just gonna get, you know.
And how does fucking Lama Su fucking like it? It's built like for giraffes to go through there. It's like,
yeah.
Anyway, I'm jumping ahead.
No, but you're right though. So yeah, the shuttle comes in and it crashes because they're flying through bad weather.
Do you know why? Do you know why it crashed?
Yeah, it got hit by lightning.
Oh, also, like it's because a fucking stormtrooper was flying it.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Like what was a stormtrooper doing flying a goddamn shuttlecraft?
Yeah, because I mean, if you
should have been a pilot.
If you think about it in the timeline, we're only like what, a year into the Empire. So where were your clones? The clones are still in service. Get a good clone pilot back there, not one of these brand new fucking conscripted stormtroopers.
Nope. Didn't know how to handle a fucking IFE.
Yeah.
And look, airplanes don't crash when they get hit by lightning.
No,
I mean,
no.
weird shit happens.
Yeah.
I mean, we've both been in airplanes that have been hit by lightning, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. At least a couple of times for me.
Oh, sidebar. Did you see there was a meme going around, or not a meme, but like a video, a reel, that it had a video of St. Elmo's fire. Some commercial airplane pilot had put it out. And people were going like nuts. I'm like, yeah,
that's normal.
That's a real fucking thing, and it's fucking terrifying when you're sitting in the back of the airplane watching it go over your fucking laptop and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's when it's like, oh, okay,
yeah,
this is.
Oh, and by the way, you're halfway across the Atlantic Ocean and or Pacific Ocean, I should say, and
you're on the fat part of the fucking Pacific where it's like
it's a whole lot of nothing around you.
Yeah, getting the fuck beat out of you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I know we're too close to this thunderstorm. And how do I know? Because there's plasma walking across my fucking laptop keyboard right now.
Yeah. So yeah.
That happens.
This opening scene, triggered some PTSD for Dave and I. But again, they fucking crash, and come to find out the whole outside of this area is like just crawling with dangerous wildlife.
Right.
And, the director of the whole facility, what's his name? Fucking Hemlock. He's like, nah, they're done.
Buddy Holly. What'd I say? Yeah, Buddy Holly. Buddy Hackett. Buddy Hackett.
Okay. Sure.
Isn't that what I said earlier? Buddy Hackett?
I don't know.
Trying to be consistent with my misnaming.
Right. But he's basically just like, fuck them. Like, they're dead. So don't even bother going.
Where'd they crash? Nope. Sorry.
Yep. And then of course we see Omega. She's still in jail. Essentially, she's got the jail cell. Jail cell. Oh my god, I don't know what's going on.
Oh my god.
And I don't know what the significance is of the fucking water dripping, like the leaky faucet. They focus on that an awful lot in these first 3 episodes. And, I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, that something's going to come from this, but then she escapes. And
it's just a pacing thing.
Yeah.
I think it's there to show you that, like,
oh, the slow passage of time.
Yes. It's just a drip.
Yeah.
Drip. Drip. It's just the
like the ticking of the clock almost.
Yeah, exactly. There's a term for it. This is what I get for never actually paying attention when I was in theater arts. There's a term for it, like you use in a theater, where like you set this on. It's almost like a metronome.
Oh, okay.
Where you're setting like this pacing.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Kate, are you in the chat? Kate doesn't watch the show.
she only calls in. But if she calls here soon,
if Kate calls, we'll find out because she
we'll
actually
ask her the question.
Yeah, she was in telecom before she changed majors.
Yeah. So anyway, I love the aesthetic of this fucking place because it's so imperial at this point. You got fucking commandos still walking around everywhere.
Yep.
You've got commandos and you've got stormtroopers who look like, fucking pussies next to these,
Right.
clone
These
commandos.
glowing faced fucking commandos.
Yeah, in just a big fucking bulky armor, look like it can just beat the shit out of anybody. So yeah, I loved the whole thing. Now, I have a question. So this girl, what's her name? Emery, that we found out is also a clone. All these other like science bitches that are in this facility all have the same fucking hair, the same fucking glasses on, and everything else. Are they all clones too? Because they haven't focused on any of them except for, Hemlock. But you look in the background, and there's all these scientists walking back and forth, and every single female has her fucking red hair in a bun, same fucking glasses on.
I think it's just a cut and paste, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't think they're all clones like her.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right.
I only say that because like Hemlock later when he's doing his like I want to be in charge of everyone type thing. I think that's what he wants to be, the chief scientist of everyone. So he's got other scientists in there.
Yeah.
It's not just Nala Sue and her band of misfits.
Yeah. He must just have a thing for redheads in his hiring processes.
Maybe.
So
He's a weird dude.
yes, he is.
He is a weird dude. But here's the thing. He's not. All right. Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. I'm going to defend myself before I even say this.
Okay.
But there's aspects of what he was saying where I'm like, yeah, I can see where that mentality would be, useful in this situation. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Not the ends don't always justify the means, but there's definitely like
He made some good points.
Here's your task, and it's like there is an element of like the Oppenheimer in this this scenario.
Yeah.
Right. Your job is to make this happen at all costs, because if you don't, then the fate of the empire is at stake.
Right.
And now Oppenheimer didn't have this this desire to rule.
Yeah.
But it just gave me this. It gave me the very similar type vibe.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. And yeah, because really all he's trying to do is, do his mission and, move up a little bit here and there.
That's right.
When he has a success. And Nala, what's her name? Nala Say. She just
What
seems,
I say, Nala Sue?
Yeah, it's all the same.
Like Peggy Sue.
Right. But yeah, Nala Say, she she's completely broken at this point.
Yeah.
She's fucking miserable. Pretty much the last of her kind. So and then and now she's basically a science slave to the Empire.
Right.
So hooray.
Yeah. Well, and she knows every single time that because she's destroying Omega's blood sample.
Yes, because for some reason they're taking blood samples from all the clones every single day and are analyzing them.
Right.
For an M count.
Wonder what that is.
Yeah.
They don't want to say the M word.
Right.
However, we all know, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, know what I mean?
Yep.
We know what that is.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm fine with that.
So am I. Excuse me. But let's rewind. The beginning of the Bad Batch. Where were our theories about Omega's force sensitivity?
I think we had heard rumors of it, but had ultimately decided, no, they're not going to go that way with this character.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm curious, like the Isaac Sipes, who usually is really, really good about telling us what we said in previous episodes. I'm curious what our previous, where we should have made a board bet.
Yeah, I know,
about
right?
it, right?
I feel like you actually were more on board with her being force sensitive than I was.
Right. I have that in my head that I was when they were talked about the M count, it was like, ooh,
Yeah, the Leo meme.
Yeah, the Leo meme. And so it's interesting.
Yeah.
And I like presenting in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like the M count. We're not talking about what we're looking for. And we're not being so overt like to the audience.
Right.
Like not regardless of what internally.
Mm-hmm.
We're not being so overt to the audience as to like disturb something.
Right.
But we're also telling you what we're looking for.
Right, which, in turn tells us they're looking for force sensitivity
Right.
within these clones.
Because they need to match a level of force sensitivity in the host in order for Palpatine to live.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah, or so he can transfer his essence over.
Right.
So,
And probably to make a Snoke.
right. Yeah, I was half expecting when Palpatine went in there and they opened up the fucking door that they were going to show like Snoke in there like Yeah.
He's not quite done. Can we
Yeah.
you put him in there for another couple of minutes?
Yeah.
Like on a defrost cycle or something.
Yeah. Yeah, sir, this one's kind of half retarded. Make him the leader of the First Order.
Right. There's going to be a whole thing with there's going to be some whiny kid and he's going to have this goth thing going.
Mm-hmm.
Really broken lightsaber. He's going to need to talk to somebody.
Right.
Make it this guy, right? Make his face all fucked up. That's fine. Yeah, just no mask, no nothing. Just send him.
Yeah.
Full
yeah.
send. It's going to be great. Don't worry about it.
Oh, good stuff. So yeah, no, and to your point, they're taking all the blood samples, and Nala Se is intentionally sabotaging Omega's. So, which basically makes you realize, like, oh, Omega's blood is probably gonna pop hot.
Right.
So
And
pop
Nala
hot for force.
And Nala Se knows it, and
Yep.
she's known it the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been shitting bricks the entire time Omega's been in there because
Yeah.
she knows that this is a That's such a fucking great character on South Park,
Yeah.
Jimmy.
Oh yeah.
No, yeah. So what was I saying?
Palpatine making Snoke. Omega's blood.
Blood.
Yeah, so we can kind of assume that Omega has the Force.
As some connection to the Force, hence why she was still alive in Camino.
Yep.
Which is why it came up in the first place. Like what's this broad? Why does this broad exist?
Yeah, exactly.
Why did the Kaminoans? That's the worst pronunciation of that. I'm putting the emphasis on the wrong syllable. Why did the Nala Se in the fucking Jackson 5 keep her isolated from the rest of them?
Did you say the Jackson 5?
Yeah, it's all kind of flushing itself out now because
Mm-hmm.
they knew she was special, and they had if I remember correctly, which is probably wrong, but didn't they have plans to do something else? Like, didn't they have their own plans for kind of clone option something?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, you're talking the Kaminoans.
Yes.
Like right, because yeah, they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna do all this stuff, and we've got access to all this, and we'll show it to the Empire, and then they'll keep us around.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have this force sensitive fucking twit over here,
Yeah.
like with the weird accent,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, we'll use her.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably. I'm sure that had something to do with it.
Yeah, they kept her around for a reason,
Mhm.
and it wasn't just because she's a chick.
Yeah. Yeah, they showed us around to the vault that you were talking about. They had the rotating force fields. We got a nice tour of everything, and every day, what's her name is coming to take Omega,
Right.
and make her do rounds basically.
Yeah, and I loved again. This is where the Andor part of it came in. It's like, here's your mindless repetition of sleep, wake up, do your chores. You're walking down the same hallway every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, go back. The way they portrayed the shot I'll use the word filmed, the way they filmed the shot, the angles that they used, like it was the same each time. So, and then use that little bit of element to like, okay, here's the scratching on the wall,
Right.
to show you that this much time has passed.
Yeah, and it's funny too when it came to that scene. The first time she scratched it, I'm like, "Oh, that's only 21 on there. She's only been there 21 days." They made it sound like she was here forever. Then fast forward, like the next scene,
Right.
and
Yeah, her hair's in a ponytail now because
Yeah.
it's grown out. Hello.
thank you. Nice and pink. I needed more water.
That's not one of those Stanley ones that are like covered in lead, is it?
Are they covered in lead?
Okay,
Probably still covered in lead though.
probably.
Yeah.
At least it's not the fucking Whack Donald's.
I can't believe that. You can't throw that away. We
No.
have to figure out what the fuck that's all about.
This is now a piece of furniture.
Yeah.
In the studio.
So she scratches off 21. I'm like, she hasn't been there that long. And then it fast forwards, hair in the ponytail.
Right.
And by my count, it was 150 days. Because it was
Nicely done.
like 6 columns by 5 rows.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good work.
Yeah. So I sit there, I'm doing the math as I'm watching.
I
Like,
didn't care that much.
yeah. So 150 days. So, almost 6 months.
I stayed with time has passed. Got it.
Yeah. That's a lot more scratches.
Yes. So, good job with that. This was for me because, a slight sidebar. I just finished reading the book Endurance.
Okay.
It's about Shackleton. You know who Shackleton is?
I don't think so.
He was an Antarctic explorer that got shipwrecked and ended up like they had to live on the ice, like the ice flow for like 14 months, and then they finally got to
Jesus Christ.
an island, and he ended up having to leave. There was 28 of them, right? They got stuck in the ice flow. The ice flow crushed the ship, which meant they had to live on the ice for so long. And then finally they got to a point where they could get through the ice. They basically knocked together boats that would get them across the flow to get to Elephant Island. They get to Elephant Island and end up leaving 22 guys on Elephant Island. They take a 20-foot long boat and cross the Drake's Passage, which is like one of the most treacherous stretches of water on the planet.
What the
The
fuck?
absolute worst weather. And the fucking Shackleton and Worsley and like these 3 guys, they make it. There was 4 of them. 4? Anyway, they make it across Drake's Passage to South Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they get there, they're on the wrong side of the island, so they fucking have to leave a couple guys there and hike across this thing that no human being ever had fucking crossed the fucking South Georgia island.
Wow.
And Shackleton and a couple other guys do it. Meanwhile, they were in the same clothes they've been wearing every fucking day for over 400 days. Like 490 days or some shit like that. Like same clothes, fucking. They have screws that they took out of the boat and put them into their shoes so they would have spikes because they're climbing glaciers and shit.
Yeah.
They had a carpenter's axe as their climbing gear. And they went and basically climbed one of the most complex things. They sent professionals in there in the 50s and they barely fucking made it.
Wow.
And these 3 dudes with just fucking a hope and a prayer fucking went and they get to the other side, get to a fucking a shipping village. And they rescued everybody. They got to the shipping village. It took them 3 months to get to Elephant Island to get to the other guys.
Uh-huh.
But they ate seals and fucking penguins.
Wow.
It was just a straight meat diet for all that time, and they burned the blubber. Like that's how they had kept fire going, and they slept in like deerskin sleeping bags.
Damn.
Oh god, it was awful. It was absolutely awful. But they fucking made it. I say that story because you think about the passage of time when you're in this situation. Like there was a long time where they were just like they couldn't go anywhere. Like you're just holed up and you're like, fuck, this is the same thing. It's Groundhog Day, and you're just going like you.
Oh, I couldn't imagine.
You're going out doing the motions. Right before that book, because I'm on a shipwreck fucking thing right now.
Uh-huh.
Before I read Endurance, I read The Wager,
Okay.
which is another story about, again, somebody there was a British ship trying to traverse around Cape Horn. So that, again, that same space, between Antarctica and South America.
Yeah.
And they end up fucking wrecking down there. They end up on an island and are stuck there for a while. And there's all this fucking drama, and then there's two groups, and then one group has to leave, and they leave the captain behind, and then the captain gets his little group together, and they end up both. A lot of people die. Like scurvy, and like the difference between Shackleton was in 1916, The Wager was in fucking 1760. So it's a huge difference in time.
Yeah.
But regardless, you're talking about dudes that are like in these makeshift huts, scratching fucking time off the wall.
Yeah.
Because it's just another fucking day, and you just go out and walk, maybe find some food. What's she doing? She's feeding. She's going in there. We're talking about Omega, by the way, in the thing.
Yeah.
I'm so far off track now. But Omega's, she's got this dog that it's not eating, so she's effectively domesticating it.
Yeah, giving it her food.
Right. Like, here, trying to nurse it back to health, and overly domesticating it. I don't think it would ever have gotten to that point in that short of time, but whatever.
Right.
But
well, I don't know, 6 months.
I guess. I mean, it handled the Bacta really well too, which, I'm shocked that if you put fucking anything on a wounded animal like that, it would have fucking freaked out and went after her.
Well, so tell me if your head went there. But like as soon as I saw that scene with it was injured, I'm fully expecting her to just reach in and like fucking force heal the thing.
I did have that thought for half a second.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, don't do this.
And then I'm like, yeah, they wouldn't do it here.
Don't do this. And then she goes on the wall and grabs a med kit. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
And now I almost wonder if they did that on purpose. If they did that to get us to think she was going to use the Force.
Those fuckers.
That's fucking Filoni, man.
Motherfuckers. Like, sitting there maniacally saying, I'm going to use Heir to the Empire references. And then I'm going to make them fucking go, no, don't force heal. And then I'm going to make her walk over and get a med kit. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Fucking Dave, man. He's the master. So anyway, her pet was injured. She keeps, meeting up with Crosshair, talking to him. That we got the one preview scene that we looked at last week.
Right.
Was from there. And, he kept just telling her like, fuck off, we're done.
Why do you keep bothering me?
Yeah. He's still being Crosshair.
Guard.
And, in the beginning, before we saw the passage of time, they would walk by each other, during the routine, and she'd look up at him and he'd just be like slugging around. Did you notice, like, after the passage of time, she'd like just look straight ahead? She never
she'd stop looking at him.
Yeah.
I did notice that. And how good is that to put that in there?
Yeah, it was very subtle, but
that
like,
we noticed it.
Yeah.
I don't think it wasn't that subtle. I mean, I don't think it was that subtle. I think we were meant to notice that,
to just
pretty
perceive
deliberately.
that she was. Yeah.
And great job of getting it in there.
Mm-hmm. That's what she said.
My penis is so smooth.
What? That was a bit of a mishit.
It timed pretty well though.
God, these are sensitive today. Look, I'm barely touching it.
The sacred Jedi.
Do it live. 37. My girlfriend's do it live.
We're still on episode 1, right?
37. Do it live. 37. My do it live. 37 hits in a row.
The last one in a row.
In a row?
Yeah, so we're still on episode 1. Let's get through this. So this is where they brought up the M count. she released her pet, which I think his name was Batcher or Batchy, which is something like she would say.
Belcher, some fucking weird Kiwi shit.
Yeah, and she released it in the wild, and my note says something tells me we'll see that pet again.
You think?
Yeah, that was
Little
some of the
foreshadowing, just a little bit.
little blatant, but yeah. At one point, I've got Hemlock threatens Crosshair. I can't remember exactly what that was about.
Well, because she was like, look, she was extorting Hemlock, right? Because she killed the droid and fucking went through the whole thing. And Hemlock was like, oh, breaking the rules, are we? Like in his best fucking Clarence voice.
Yeah.
Or no, what's his name? What's the doctor's name? Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, Hannibal Lecter.
Hannibal, yes.
Yeah.
Duh. Jesus Christ. I think, where's I going with that?
Well, we were talking about how he was threatening Crosshair,
oh, not Farver Beans. Got it. Yeah, so she was like, look, I know that you are using me to control Nala Se.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't hurt me.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, that's true. However, I can hurt fucking Crosshair.
Yeah.
Or CT0094.
Mm-hmm.
Is it 94?
Ooh, 94.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
How have we missed that? Which CT? Which CT is that? It's funny you say that. Like that made me like when they were saying CT so frequently.
Mm-hmm.
And later episodes when they encounter the fucking the Lost Boys.
Oh, yeah.
And they're talking about like CTs.
He's CT 9904.
9904.
9904.
Fuck it. Do it live.
Didn't get the 94 out of that at all.
94.
There it is. So 904.
9904.
9904.
Yeah.
9904.
Yes.
99.
Yeah.
God,
So
we are all over the place today.
yeah. So basically, he told Omega, "Yeah, I might not be able to like hurt you, but I can hurt fucking your buddy over here.
I can hurt your boy that I know you're going to talk to in the fucking cell because guess what? It's a fucking prison. There's cameras everywhere. You stupid twat.
Yeah. Oh, and we forgot to mention too, with the passage of time, Omega built her own little Wilson, you know,
Right.
so she could talk to and everything, and they like confiscated it.
Yeah, they came in and tore up the room.
Yeah, like very Shawshank Redemption, where
Right.
they
She was holding it behind her back. Clever. Yes,
Yeah.
that was going to work.
didn't work. She should have put it in her Bible, and then
Right.
wouldn't have had that problem.
Right.
But anyway,
They
yeah.
weren't trying very hard.
No.
They didn't toss the room very like they.
Well, there wasn't anything to toss. All she has is a cot and a sink. Who knows where she shits or showers?
Probably in the same area.
Probably.
She wears the same goddamn clothes. Probably just doesn't.
Yeah. You would think though that the people would want them to bathe on a regular basis.
Oh, maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe
All those smelly ass clones.
It's got to smell.
God, the worst body odor imaginable.
Wearing all the fucking armor all the time, just like sweating in it. It's like we're on patrol again. Just like
yeah.
because you know what happens. Like they're stormtroopers. They're not clones
Mhm.
in the armor, so you're going to get random people.
Yeah.
And anybody that's ever been stationed anywhere or if fucking had to share a tent with somebody,
Mhm.
you get some rando that fucking who has uncontrollable fucking body odor.
Yep.
And it's just like, how the fuck have you existed your entire life smelling as bad as you do all the fucking time?
Right.
Like you just got out of the shower and you already stink to high heaven. Like, how is that possible?
Yeah.
This may or may not have been the case while I was deployed one time. Like just, I mean, obviously I have a shower issue or I'm overly sensitive to it.
It's well documented.
Yes, but wash your ass. Come on. Anyway.
Yeah. So, but yeah, at the end of the episode, Emery gives back Wilson to Omega. I guess is like a sign of good faith. I don't know.
Yeah. It's obviously getting to her, right? Because I think, well, obviously Emery's very well programmed
Mm-hmm.
to be, all right, I am fucking Buddy Holly's bitch. What's this dude's name again?
Hemlock.
Hemlock.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do I keep forgetting that? She's been programmed to be Hemlock's whatever. She does wear like that band. Like, so she may be like, there may be a control mechanism almost like
That's
Lobot.
true. Yeah.
You know, where it's like she's plugged in directly to keep her controlled.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an element that I didn't really think about till just
Yeah,
now.
because and she's probably like got some form of inhibitor chip in her, like all the other clones did.
Probably,
Yeah.
and it just happens to still be working because she's been there the whole time.
Yeah.
And fucking Hemlock does have a thing for redheads.
Yes, but that is actually one thing that did bug me about this first episode specifically, but really over the whole 3 episodes, is at no point did Omega just like sit her down and be like, okay, who the fuck are you? Are you also a clone of fucking Jango Fett? Like that, like what's going on here? How did you get involved in all this?
Well, I feel like that what I got was they don't have conversations.
Right.
They just like, good morning, let's go to work.
Yeah.
And then she's in the salt mines and just doing that work. Like there's no
Yeah.
interaction with her other than follow me.
And do your
Here's your
duties.
little lunchbox.
Yeah.
Which, how annoying is that fucking having to carry around that little box all the fucking time? Like that was bothering me.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't that get, that would get old quick.
I agree.
Get a fucking backpack or something. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know. Maybe it's because sidebar. We are sidebarring the shit out of this episode.
I know.
Fucking, how do you know you're getting old?
Mm-hmm.
When you really appreciate a good fucking box. Like a good storage container. Well,
Okay.
like a good storage container. Like, you look at that, I was like, man, that's a good box. Like, I like that. Like,
Yeah.
come across some like little Rubbermaid containers and some other things. I'm like, oh no, that's good. I'm gonna keep that one. That's a good box.
Yeah. No, I do that.
Yeah, it's like, damn, that's it.
It's just containers in general for me. That's why I still have those like coffee containers up there
Yeah.
and the
Yeah, because back in the day, like if you weren't, dudes couldn't be dudes if they didn't have a fucking coffee can filled with random shit.
Oh yeah.
You have to do it. Like,
Yeah.
and I've been keeping. We have nut jars, and because we like nuts.
You don't have to explain.
It's just there was no way I was getting out of that.
Dave likes nut. A lot of nut in his mouth.
Like nuts.
Yeah.
My penis is so smooth.
Anyway, so they're good sized jars. They're like this big. They got screw lids. You know, get them at Costco or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so but they hold a lot. Oh fuck! I just realized I have something sitting insolvent right now.
Where?
I'm gonna have to get that out tonight in the shed,
Yeah.
in the workshop.
Oh, okay.
Some stuff. It's in some something to get the rust off of. Anyway, it's in a container,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh, I need a container that's exactly this size to fit a like half folded knife in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, here's one, and I have just the container for that because I pay attention and see when I see a good container, then I snatch it up.
Yeah. Now I'm right there with you. So, all right, let's get through this second episode pretty quick because honestly, not a lot happens. It was still a good episode. Like I enjoyed it. I love the Lost Boys, as you
Yeah.
referred to them. No, it's a good concept though because you got to think they had these facilities everywhere, and you know, as they're constantly churning out fucking clones for the Republic to keep fighting the war, there's gonna be a bunch of like kids in fucking all kinds of age ranges.
Yeah.
Um,
And you got to figure too, if they pulled some of them, are like, okay, we're not going to, like, we're not advancing the aging of this particular group
yeah.
so that we can do this level of experiments on, or like we need these to age slower because if the war is prolonged, we need them to age into the war.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? It totally makes sense.
Yeah, and yeah, the fact that you're going to find some of these random clones around is very plausible. The whole purpose of this episode was Hunter and Wrecker are looking for Omega because they're on their own because Echo's out with fucking Rex and Tech is dead. And what was that?
What'd I say?
I don't know. I thought I heard a weird voice. Anyway, don't mind me. It
could have came from me.
It's the brain drugs.
Hello.
Oh my god, I'm hearing voices. Oh god, what is happening? There was a pretty funny or interesting scene at the beginning of this where they basically turned over a pike to this the family Duran family,
right?
Which I know we've seen them before in previous episodes. I can't
yeah,
remember exactly where.
How the fucking horn got cut off.
Oh yeah,
remember that happened in early episodes.
Yeah, God, vaguely,
very vaguely. Hence, but for those of us with advanced CRS, remember he tossed him the part of his horn.
Oh yeah.
That was like, hey, here you might have lost this.
Oh, do you think he could just glue it back on, or do you think like doctors could surgically,
maybe like put some Bacta on it and just like and some CA glue and just
zook, like double-sided Bacta tape, just
Bacta tape.
Yeah, just a thought.
Bacta tape.
Yeah. So, but ultimately,
why wouldn't they put hands back on with that? Like, I mean, you'd have a whole fucking service industry of, if you had Bacta tape, then all these motherfuckers that are losing, appendages, just follow Jedi around and be like, hey, you need some Bacta tape? Fucking tape them right back up.
Yeah, that's true. That would close too many plots.
Like, oh, look, it's
plot
back.
Holes and...
Well, I mean, I don't know how you get the ligature to come back, but
it's a complicated process, I'm sure. Anyway, so yeah, they're just looking for information on Omega. They get it. They go to this planet where there used to be one of those facilities.
Right.
We'll come to find out that it was abandoned.
Right, because of fucking insane vines.
Yes. Well, you know what this made me think of? Did you ever see like a year or two ago when Jon Stewart went on the Stephen Colbert show to talk about COVID? And Jon Stewart was pushing the made in the lab in China narrative.
I can't say I remember.
Yeah. Well, it made me think of that. It's like, science did a great job of stopping this disease that science probably created. Same kind of deal here. They created this stuff in the labs there, these vines that are, bred to do whatever the hell they do and be like protectors, and then it ended up overtaking their actual facility.
Like, whoops.
Yeah.
Not the first time that's ever happened.
Yeah.
COVID notwithstanding.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so ultimately they go in there and they get the information that they need. There was a funny scene where Wrecker was carrying the gonk droid on his back.
Yes.
Which that was kind of funny.
Like so the part of that annoyed me was like when they're like running around on like parts of metal on top of the tar pit.
Mm-hmm.
And they made sounds like he was heavier because he had the gonk droid on him, but it didn't sink more.
Oh.
I
didn't notice that one.
That bothered me.
Sorry. There was a point where I almost thought Hunter was force sensitive, or if he just had good hearing because they were like walking through the jungle and he's like, wait, I feel something's close.
He's supposed to have like this Indian like sense.
Yeah, spider sense.
Yeah, he's supposed like that was a thing in the beginning of the Bad Batch. It was he had this he was like, hey, he's the point guy because he had this ability.
True.
He'd go out and he'd be dancing with wolves.
Right.
Type guy fucking standing out front. There's a Pathfinder. Like he was more attuned to his environment.
Yeah. But for some reason that got me thinking, oh my God, are they going to make him force sensitive too? Somehow I doubt.
It enters in the argument that if you have some sort of level of attenuation, is that force sensitivity?
Yeah.
Like, hey, I can hear things and see things, like my ability to know when shit's coming
I mean, if it's through the Force, if it's through any use of the Force whatsoever, even if
Right.
it's just a little bit so small, then
It's just-
My penis so smooth.
it's so sensitive. What happened to the buttons?
I would. I didn't touch it.
It's so. Look, I'm barely touching it. All right, now it's not doing it. Hang on, maybe if I lick my finger.
My penis so smooth.
There we go.
Fuck. You did that on purpose. God damn it.
A little bit force sensitive.
Yes, I think any force sensitivity at all makes them quote unquote force sensitive.
Sure.
So yeah, that could be the case with Hunter. I don't know. Yeah, they go in, they get the information they need. The fucking clone kids help them escape. They take the clone kids to that island nation that we did see last season that we thought that they were gonna like.
The one that Wanda Sykes was at.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and
like
with all the other Jackson 5 members.
right.
I don't know why I keep reverting back to Jackson 5. I really don't.
Yeah. So yeah, they took those kids to that island. So now they're gonna have normal lives.
Right. They can decide what they want to do.
Yeah, kids of their own. But no, I love the concept of, you know, the fact that there's just some random fucking kid clones just like stranded on a planet somewhere.
Random lost boys that are just out there surviving.
Yeah, yeah. And again, I wish that they would explore this more in later canon, like how having these millions of this exact same guy just like everywhere in the galaxy, like,
Right.
you know, how have they not been popping up more? Or
They had to have, you know, it's like the British, you know what? No, don't,
that already starts like a
don't.
long sidebar.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 3.
Yes. Episodes 3 is Shadows of Tantus.
Shadows of Titus.
Yeah, and this is where I wrote the note. Are those other scientist clones too?
La tits now.
Yeah, and then they're still going through their normal routine at the prison.
Right.
And we get word that Palpatine's on the way in.
Right.
So
There's a special guest,
yeah.
and everyone's on edge.
Yeah,
You know what that means?
Mhm.
Hey, guess what? There's a VIP coming.
Yeah.
Or there's a DV coming. So straighten up your desk area. Take down the fucking pornography off your desk.
Yeah.
Put away. Send fucking Smith home because he's fucking the worst.
Yeah, we need somebody to go pick the leaves out of the grass.
Yes.
And then sweep the sidewalks.
Right.
and-
Exactly. Somebody go get his parking spot ready. All right. Go put this parking stanchion out,
Mhm.
and then all right. Yeah. So go do all those things. And for God's sakes, get Smith out of here because he's the fucking worst.
No experience at all.
No experience at all with that
Anything
at all.
Like that.
Being part of a rent a crowd.
Yep.
Never in our lives.
Yeah, so they Palpatine rolls in. He had a pretty shitty escort coming into this, unless he was just like trying to travel in secret, because it was him and like 4 fighters.
I think he was traveling in secret. I
Okay.
think that was the whole point because he's trying to keep the existence of the base secret.
Okay, that's true.
Like I think there no Star Destroyer, just a fucking lone shuttle.
Yeah.
You know, off the grid. Hey, only the guys on this base know that he's fucking coming,
Right.
and I think that was deliberate. And
Okay.
think of his. You know, he had a very small contingent of his fucking guards, his red garmented guards,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, the whole thing was fucking very hush hush, and yeah, I totally believe it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, some dude's coming, like really, he's coming in here and nobody's gonna know about it. So just get your shit together,
Mm-hmm.
and he's gonna do a touch and go. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then they after Palpatine gets there and he's talking to Hemlock, and Hemlock's, you know, jerking him off under his robe.
Right.
They mentioned Project Necromancer.
Right.
Which we heard for the first time in fucking season 3 of Mandalorian. So and you know, these two have been kind of crossing a lot lately.
Yeah.
And we kind of know why, right? Because it's all Palpatine's cloning plan.
Right.
So, you know, that starts here in the Bad Batch and it carries over in some form into the Mandalorian era.
Right.
Which, you know, we know Gideon is working on and everything else. And then, you know, Palpatine somehow does return eventually. So we know it all essentially leads to that. But it was just cool that they actually mentioned it by name, Project Necromancer.
Yep.
And then Nalase like tells Omega to escape. She's like, they're gonna test your fucking blood and they're gonna find out bad stuff. So you got to get the fuck out.
Yeah. Take my data pad and get the fuck out.
Which they did. They left ultimately through the fucking the hog chute where they let all of the wildlife out. And she, of course, she picks up Crosshair because
Who didn't know that was going to happen?
yeah, and they take out some fucking stormtrooper, or they take out a single stormtrooper, and then like they fucking hide his body. Or no, it was the two that they took on.
Yeah, it was a pair of them.
Yeah, when she first opened Crosshair's door, and I'm like, put on their fucking armor. But they don't. They just throw the bodies in there and just grab a gun and just start running down the hallway.
I don't think there was time. I don't think there was time. I mean, she's not going to be able to wear that armor.
No. But he could, at least. I don't know.
I feel like it's probably a bit of a chore to get that fucking shit on.
It's true. It could be time. 'Cause if we're talking half an hour, then yeah,
Right.
that's too long.
Like you got to get the fucking bodysuit on.
Yeah.
I say like clickety clack and clack this and like, oh fuck, this helmet doesn't fit. I gotta go find a different helmet.
Right.
I gotta go kill somebody else to get this helmet. That's not fucking worth it.
Okay,
let's just fucking run.
that's fair. All right. I'll go with that.
You like how we broke that down?
They mentioned that, Palpatine was looking for a successful M count specimen,
Right.
or transfer, I think is what he said, as he's talking to Hemlock and all that, and as this escape is going on, and then of course Emery shows up to try to stop them, give them one last chance to surrender, and they're like, nope, pop pop,
And they stun her.
yeah,
Which again, it's fun knowing the difference in the blasters.
yeah,
Right between the stun and the not. And she's like, she had the fucking, the plunger to fucking be like, all right, you asked for it, bloop, and she fucking notifies everyone, hey, here they fucking are.
yeah.
So it's interesting. Would it really have just been like, go back to your room, we'll forget this happened? Because you feel like it kind of would have been.
Yeah, with her, I would have believed that.
Yeah.
Not Hemlock or anybody, though.
No, absolutely not. But with her, it would have been like, yeah, because
yeah, at first, I thought this gal was going to, like, be way on the side of Omega and be like, I got to help this girl get out. We're going to be free and all this stuff. But no, she's still very Empire.
right, and that's what makes me think that, like, now thinking more about it, like this Lobot fucking device around her head maybe has something to do with it.
Could be. Yeah. So anyway, they're escaping while Palpatine's doing his fucking tour of the facility. They get out there. They decide they're going to use that shuttle that crashed in episode 1 to try to get out of there. And of course, as expected, her pet that she, I think, I wrote it down this time, Batcher.
Barbarino.
Yeah, helps saves them and helps them fight off the people that came to get them. They steal one of their ships and they're off. And fucking Hemlock let them go because right at the last second, this whole episode we've been seeing Omega's blood like ticking around that fucking clock. Finally, it gets there and blink, blink, blink.
Like,
M count, M count, M count.
Like, we found a match.
Yeah. And that was that. So Hemlock let him go, and he's like, I'm not worried, because now he's got the whole fucking coffers of the Empire at his disposal.
The entire resource of the Empire.
Which, funny enough, is probably how Ventress is going to come into the fold, because they're probably going to hire every fucking bounty hunter in the galaxy to be looking for these people.
Right.
So,
But dude, that's legit.
Yep.
I can see that.
But that's the end of the 3rd episode, and I gotta say, man, like, this was a great way to get us started in this season. But I also think now the next episode is probably going to be some like side quest Wanda Sykes kind of deal,
Oh my god.
because they're going to have at least 1 or 2 of those.
I hope not. Dude, that's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
No, not that. I'm going to send this to you.
Oh God.
I want you to look at your phone.
Oh God. Do I even want to know?
Sorry for everyone else. It's a new recruiting tagline for the Air Force.
Please tell me that's not real.
No, it's not. It's
Okay, it's just a joke, but yeah, no, it's kind of fucked up. I don't know. Like, I don't really have any sympathy for that dude. Like,
it's just it's just fucked.
yeah,
Just absolutely fucked.
yeah. So anyway, that's the end. Again, I'm sure we're still gonna get some not so great episodes, but so far so good. Huge thumbs up to the Bad Batch. So hopefully they keep it going.
I agree.
And that leads us to the end of the episode. Are you going to actually do any kind of reads, shout-outs?
I don't know. I got to pee, though. Like, really bad.
Okay.
Like, I know we're at the end, but I got to fucking... It's like...
All right. We'll be back right after this very quick break to say goodbye after this word from our sponsors.
Don't even take the break. Just
hit the...
Just entertain me for a minute.
Still.
I was trying.
Right. All right. So what did I miss in the chat recently? The sheer number of clone commandos. Yes. Like I mentioned that when we were talking about the first episode, like all those clone commanders that they have at this base, especially like in front of that, the vault, just, it's awesome. And it's really funny too, because you have that juxtaposition between the commandos and then the fucking stormtroopers that are in that base, and the stormtroopers look like nothing next to them. And I think we saw Scorch in these episodes too. He's the guy that's got kind of the yellow and gray. Pretty sure it's Scorch. So sorry, I got people sending me memes. Oh my God. So anyway, yeah, I think that was Scorch that we saw in that episode. Oh, what else? Leaking Waters ambiance. For taking a quick break. He's sure taking his time. All right. There he is.
Oh, my God.
Feel better?
Yes.
All right.
Oh.
All right. Do us something and then we'll get back to it. Hell, you could just do the goat scream.
Yeah, you ready?
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
What the?
There it goes.
And we're back. So, any last thoughts on Bad Batch before we move on to our shout-outs?
No, I'm ready to rock for the next ones.
Yeah.
I'm pleasantly surprised at the tone of it. I'm glad that it's has an Andor flavor to it, which I'm pleasantly surprised about. Like the pacing and even how it's shot, air quote.
Yeah.
And yeah, Filoni's killing it. Like you said, the Heir to the Empire reference, I didn't even connect that.
Oh,
but
yeah,
now that you've said it, now I'm going to be like, all right, I got to really focus when I'm watching these to pick this shit up, because I fucking, I'm not paying enough attention.
Yep. And for next week, we are not covering Bad Batch. We are talking about Dune Part 2.
Yes, because Friday,
On Friday.
gotta get down on Friday.
Yeah, we're going to the IMAX.
Yes, we're going to see Dune 2. I'm actually started today. I just finished Endurance yesterday for the audiobook. Now I'm starting Dune again
Okay.
for the audiobook.
Are you gonna try and finish it before Friday?
Even if I don't, I mean, look, I've read Dune a couple of times.
Yeah.
That's pretty well documented. So, but I've started it so that I can just be in the mindset all this week.
Yeah.
The Dune mindset, because I'm my reading physical reading is the space shuttle book right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm listening to Dune. I'm going to be ready. I want that fucking Dune ornithopter so bad. That Lego Dune ornithopter.
Yeah.
Fuck me. That it looks cool. Looks so cool.
Yeah.
But it's like $130. That I don't want to spend. Except if I sell the Dark Seven.
Yeah. There you go. So, so we're going to be talking about that next week. And then in 2 weeks, I think we're doing Master and Apprentice. And yeah, next week is our giveaway. Don't forget for the Master and Commander book.
Is there going to be enough time for somebody to...
Depends on them.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, anywho, you got any shout outs?
KN...
94.
94.
No, that relay, fucking it like that penguin just it bobbed up just enough to fucking
Oh no,
interrupt my thought. I don't have any reads, and you know what? Oh yeah,
RJ's not happy with that.
you know what I got for that?
Huh.
Hang on, let me wake him up. So before the show, I know I showed this on the show when I got it back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Music.
No, don't get us copyrighted. This is how we avoid a copyright.
So anyway, this is my baseball size BB-8, and he's been around for a minute.
Yeah.
So having droid envy, I went and got him charged up again. Oh look, he's lighting up.
Nice.
Because now he's connected. I had to re-download. I had to go into my purchased items and re-download them. Yeah, we'll go with that. And yeah, there he is.
Very cool. We've got a whole sidebar droid family starting.
I wonder if I can shut off the music.
Probably. I'm sure you can, like, options for the app. I didn't necessarily mean right now, but sure, just keep doing that.
Shh, quiet you.
What the f- Our pets' heads are falling off.
It's a weird, it's a ball with the fucking, oh, there he goes. He's happy now. His head's back on.
All right, so no shout out, you're saying?
No. So I will say that listen to our friends, the ATSW, the Escape Pod. They, I don't know what they're doing. I logged in to watch the show this past week. They look great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it doesn't look like they're co-located, but each one of their backgrounds looks fantastic. They sound great. So give them a watch, a holler, a follow, a subscribe, all that good shit for the Escape Pod guys. Layman's Terms, he's actually been fairly active. He dropped something not too long ago. He's on the YouTube, Facebook stuff. Sweet Studios has shit out, so go follow him. He's got a lot of music that's coming out. The
Orange and Fett?
no, I'm trying to think what Swede just put out. He's working with the band that we went and we were a part of the music video for for the Teenage Dirtbag.
Oh,
Explicit Noise.
yes.
He just did a recording with that. So, yeah, follow Sweet Studios at Sweet Studios
Yeah.
on the Instagram and the YouTubes. Orange and Fett, don't know what you guys are working on.
They just did Madam Web, which sounded
Spoiler
horrible.
alert. Got a thumbs down, and I'm pretty sure that everyone on the planet had pretty much didn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's probably a good reason. So listen to the Orange and Fett show to find out why. And Used and Abused, not sure what those guys are doing, but I'm sure it's great. And yeah, everyone else in the chat, thank you very much for doing the chat things. Find us at bio.link/the Sidebar Cantina. I should really read it. I do have it here. Like that's the boilerplate, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the standard shit.
Yeah.
You can find us at bio.link/the Sidebar Cantina, where you can find our links to Patreon, YouTube, our audio podcast on Apple, Spotify, and all social media platforms, including X, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, and Discord. Once you get to the bio link, simply click the symbols under our pick to go to your platform of choice. You can also find all of our past Spotify mixtape playlists. Also, I really have to figure out. It's right in the middle of my fucking bifocal prescription, and it just messes everything up. Also in our bio link, I'll just do it like this. Also in our bio link is our T-Public merch shop. Choose from 7 designs on everything from t-shirts and hoodies to tote bags. It's Tom Brokaw like he's in a... Somebody let me out of this box. Exclusive stickers and pins, wall art, magnets, notebooks, laptops, cases, pillows, just about anything you can imagine.
Is that Pee Wee Herman?
No, that's higher. Pee Wee's higher. No. Yeah.
So who was it supposed to be?
Nobody. Like, I don't know, like a random Muppet. Cookie Monster.
All right.
C is for cookie. That's good enough for me.
Oh my God.
Cookie starts with C.
Oh my God. We have to finish this. Now I have to pee.
Nothing says love it like a naked Jason chick on a pillow. Go to bio.link/the Sidebar Cantina and click merch. Reviews?
No new reviews.
Please write us a 5-star review on Apple or Audible. Don't have an Apple or Audible account? Our Facebook page has a review feature too. I can't maintain that. Just screenshot your review before you hit done and DM us on a pic on Instagram or Twitter with your name and address, and Luna Girl can send you a super cool ATSW family swag pack when she returns. This is your chance to tell us your thoughts on our show. Jason or Jennifer Lopez or me or Edith, Mama, Drunk Brokaw, or somebody fun will read your review word for word on our next episode. Let us know who you want to read it. If you catch us on Spotify, please help us out and click those stars. If you are listening to us on audio,
please consider joining us live in the chat on Mondays.
My God.
The chat is most definitely where it's at. If you're new to Sidebar, please subscribe. Ding that bell and select all to receive notifications of when we go live. Remember to smash that like button. It really helps us out.
Holy shit. Wow. That was impressive.
that's it.
All right.
That's all I'm going to do for today.
All right, yeah, before Dave blows out his vocal cords, we're going to say goodnight. Thank you, everybody, for listening to us on audio. Thank you to everybody who's been with us on YouTube all night.
Yes.
We really appreciate you, and we will see you next week.
We love you.
And until then, Dave and everybody else, may the force be with you.
Force be with you. Go see Dune.
Okay, now what do I look?
That sounded terrible.
All right, guys, we're out of here. We'll catch you later.
See ya!